Hello, hi everyone. Just give me a quick response. Am I clearly audible and visible? Just give me a quick update. I hope the screen is properly visible. We are there. Yes, I am sincerely apologizing for this that we were not there because of a technical glitch on YouTube. We couldn't run this. There was something. Uh, Let me just see. First of all, it is running smoothly. Just give me a quick update. Am I clearly visible and audible? Then we'll come back to the second part. Okay, great. So let us get started with our discussion. First of all, we were discussing calculus. We are revising your calculus in one shot, in one go. But the first live stream got ended because of some technical glitch. I sincerely apologize for that. And here we are resuming with the second part. Mostly in the first part, we have been discussing the theory. So theoretical part of differential equations is what we are now left with. So we'll cover the theoretical part of differential equations and then we'll move towards the practice of questions. So the most of the theory is covered now. So you can call this session practice session. So previously in the first part, if we did the theory of calculus, now we'll be doing the practice of calculus with the slight theory of differential equations we are now left with. So can we get started? I hope you have understood it. So calculus is there. This is your revision marathon session where in these three sessions we are revising your entire JEE maths for the JEE April attempt, and this is your second part of first session, that is calculus. Second session will be on algebra and trigonometry, and third session will be on coordinate geometry and vectors in 3D. I hope you are clear with this. So let us get started with this discussion we were already having. I hope there is no confusion on that. Now, if I could talk about the next part, that is differential equations, give me a moment, let me reach to the slide here. We were talking about exact differential equations. So I was simply mentioning you the simple fact here that here, let's say if ever in your question based on differential equations, if you go through an expression somewhat like this, x dy plus y dx, don't hesitate in substituting it by half of d of whole of x square plus v square, y square. Because a lot many times, instead of solving it with linear differential equations or homogeneous or even with some other method, you can always, if you could recognize or see this pattern of exact differential equations, you can crack a lot of questions directly. I hope there is no confusion on here. If I talk about this next formula, x dy minus y dx upon x square is always dy by x. Similarly, these versions, I hope you can see them clearly. Y dx minus x dy by y square, that is d of x by y. This also you are clearly seeing or coming into picture. I hope there is no confusion on all the formulae which we are showing you right now. All I'll suggest is go through them, understand them, and then apply them. For example, let's say if you want to get clarity on this. So I hope you can clearly see this can be written as d of ln of x plus y, because if you apply chain rule here on this partial differentiation kind of structure, there you see this dx plus dy whole divided by x plus y coming into picture. I hope there is no confusion on what is being said. Everybody with me on this? For example, here, let's say if you see x dx minus y dx upon x square plus y square, what you do is divide the numerator and denominator by x square. So when you do so, the numerator becomes x dy minus y dx upon x square. We have just learnt in the last slide, it can be represented by dy by x. And there, if I talk about the denominator is clearly 1 plus y upon x whole square. So this is dx upon 1 plus x square, something like that. So it will be d of tan inverse y upon x. So whenever you see something like this, you should or can write like this. If you remember these formulae, your steps becomes more clear and easy, and the question becomes doable. The same you apply here with these ones and the same you apply with these ones. I hope you have comfortably gotten all of these. And with that slight simple left remaining part of differential equations, now we are moving towards questions of calculus. So here we'll be doing all the questions of all the chapters. All the questions means we'll try to do a lot of questions. Of course, all of these questions are your previous year's questions only from JEE Mains and Advanced, mostly from Mains only. But some questions are there from Advanced which got repeated in Mains. And with these questions, we'll be revising entire calculus. We'll begin with functions. Then we'll move towards LCD, limits, continuity and differentiability. Then we'll talk about derivatives, application of derivatives, and then we'll move towards indefinite integration, definite integration. And after that, area under the curve, and finally, we'll culminate this session with questions on differential equations. Everybody with me on this? Have you all gotten a decent clarity on this? Can I move ahead from here? Are you all there? So if I could begin with the first question for the day, I hope you all can see it right there in front of you. Can you not help me with the domain of this function? In the numerator, I can see sine inverse of something. In the denominator, we can see 9 minus x square inside an under root. What we need is, sir, when you talk about sine inverse of this, we all know that this value always lies between minus 1 and 1. So here, for the numerator, we can always say that x minus 3 should be a value between what? Minus 1 and 1. Everybody with me on this? So here, I can very clearly see that x should be minus 3 when goes to all the other sides. When I add plus 3 on all the other sides, it is 4. And 3 minus 1, that is 2. So for the numerator, it is 2 to 4. Everybody with me on this? When I talk about the denominator part, I hope we can see that it should always be positive. It cannot even be 0. So with that, I'll say 9 minus x square should always be greater than 0. It cannot be equal to 0. And there, I hope you remember this particular fact. That's good, Kala Kaddu. That's brilliant. We can say that x square should be less than 9. I hope you remember the standard fact that when x square is less than 9, x is from minus 3 to 3. So we can clearly see that x is from minus 3 to 3. Everybody with me on this? Now what we do is, sir, here we take the intersection of this and this. I hope you know how to take the intersection. So 2 to 4 minus 3 to 3. My answer will be 2 to 3. Where the only correction here will be that on 3 you will not be using the open closed interval. Everybody got this? Everybody got this? So it should be option B instead of option D. That's good, Black Mystery. That's good, Kala Kaddu. Kala Kaddu, option D will not be the correct answer. That's good, Purvi. I hope all the other participants also have understood this standard, basic, decent question through which we have tried revising the concept of domains. Can I move ahead with the next question? What do you see in the next question? The next question says, f is a function. The domain here is R, and I hope you can see the codomain here is your S. I hope you can see this right there, right? Defined by f of x, which is sin x minus root 3 cos x plus 1. And we are told, translate in Hindi. Arpan, this is PWJE English channel. Here we speak English. So we are supposed to teach you in pure English. I hope you're comfortable with that. So here, this is given as sin x minus root 3 cos x plus 1, and it is said to be onto. How do you define onto functions? Do you remember that? So if a function is found to be onto, we know that, sir, its codomain and range are same. They are equal sets. I hope you remember that. So here, if that is onto, all they are asking you indirectly is find its range, and that range will be this set S. Now, how do we find range? I hope you remember a basic formula that a sin theta plus b cos theta has its own range. Do you remember that? A sin theta plus b cos theta. That's good, Black Mystery. That's brilliant. It always lies between negative of under root over a square plus b square to positive of under root over a square plus b square. Do you remember that? Do you all remember that? So with this, I hope I will not hesitate in saying sin x minus root 3 cos x. If I talk about this sin x minus root 3 cos x, can you help me with this range of this expression? I hope you all must agree. Sir, 1 and root 3. Minus root 3, they are same. So 1 square is 1, root 3 square is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4, square root of 4 is 2. So sir, this will lie between minus 2 to 2. Everybody got this? But we are looking for f of x. For f of x, it should be plus 1. So if I add 1 on all the three sides, I think I have found the range, because this is your f of x. And we can clearly see that, sir, f of x lies between minus 2 plus 1, that is minus 2, to 2 plus 1, that is 3. So I think the answer, the range of f of x is minus 2 to 3. And this range is going to be the codomain, because it is an onto function. So I think minus 2 to 3, we are given where? Then the interval of S. So they are asking you S could lie in what interval? So I'll say minus 1 to 3 is not the interval where it lies, because minus 1 is greater than minus 2. Minus 1 to 1 is also wrong. 0 to 1 is also wrong. I think there is something wrong with the... I hope we are going great. Sin x minus root 3 cos x plus 1. So it is sin x 1, 3, that is 4, that is 2, minus 2 to 2. Then you add 1, so minus 1, 2, 3. Sorry, why did I write minus 2 here? I'm really sorry. It should be minus 1, 2, 3. So even when it is, yes, option A is there. I'm really sorry. I mistakenly wrote it as plus 2. I'm really sorry for that. Yes, thank you so much for that correction, students. So I hope everybody got this. Minus 1, 2, 3, closed interval, option A. Did you all get this answer? So I hope you are understanding. We'll be revising entire calculus with these questions, and we'll be revising all the concepts so that you understand all these nuances and basics so that you can learn the calculus part. Let's talk about the next part. The range of this function, which says f of x is given by 7 minus xp x minus 3. They are not asking the domain, students. Mind you, they are asking about the range. Had it been domain, you could have tried the values from here, put them here, and you could have checked which answer is the extremmost, could be eliminated, and through elimination, you could have gotten the answer. Can you help me with the answer to this question? Range of this function. So first of all, what we know clearly is, let us work on its domain, because if I could figure out its domain, I'll be in a better position to figure out its range, right, students? So first of all, what we know is, sir, 7 minus x will always be greater than 0. I hope you're understanding it. Second thing, sir, x minus 3 will also be greater than equal to 0. I hope you're understanding it. Although there'll be integers, there'll be natural numbers first of all, whole numbers here for x minus 3. And third thing, that 7 minus x should be greater than equal to x minus 3. Everybody got that? So here I see that x should be less than 7. Here we see that x should be greater than equal to 3. And here we see that if x goes to the other side, it becomes 2x. Less than equal to, I hope you're understanding, 7 plus 3, that is 5. So, I'm really sorry, that is 10. So, here I can conclude that x should be less than equal to 5. So, there first of all, we conclude few things. Which things? X should be less than 7, x should be less than 5, x should be greater than equal to 3. So, first of all, we get 3 values of x. Which 3 values, students? The 3 values of x are going to be 3, 4 and 5. But that's the domain. We are not asked the domain part here. We are asked the range. So range, how do we define? I hope I'll put x as 3 first. So it will be 7 minus 3, that is 4, p, 0. Are you getting it? The next value of x, which is 4, if I put 7 minus 4, that is what? 3, p, 4 minus 3, that is 1. Are you all listening and understanding? Similarly, when I replace x by 5, what I get is 7 minus 5, that is 2, p, and 5 minus 3 is 2. So are you all listening and understanding? Everybody with me on this? I hope you know the formula for NCR, NPR. So for NPR, the formula is given by n factorial upon n minus r factorial. I hope there is no confusion on that. And when I put these values here, I'll get the final result. Because for 4p0, we know 4 factorial upon 4 minus 0 factorial. So 4 factorial gets cancelled. You'll be left with 1. Second value which you receive is 3p1. 3p1 will be 3 factorial upon 3 minus 1 factorial. That is 2 factorial. So 3 by, I hope you're understanding, 3 factorial by 2 factorial, that is clearly 3. So I'll get a value 3 as well. When you talk about 2p2, I hope you know this. 2 factorial upon 2 minus 2, that is 0 factorial, that is 1. So 2 by 1, that is 2. So you'll get these 3 values, 1, 2, 3. That's your option D. Everybody understood that? Did you all get this? Arpan, I hope you're understanding. We are still asked the range. So the range is going to be 1, 2, 3. Everybody with me on this? Perfect, brilliant. From here, when we move ahead towards the next question, what are we asked? The graph of a function y is equals to f of x is symmetrical about the line x is equal to 2. Clear, sir. Sir, I like your teaching method. Sir, from which university did you graduate? I graduated from RGPV Bhopal. My college was IPS Academy Indore. My branch was CSE. What shall I tell you apart from that? Now here, let us get back to the discussion here. If I now talk about this symmetry, first of all, I hope you know, if a curve is symmetrical about the y-axis, if a curve is symmetrical about the y-axis, that means it is symmetrical with respect to x is equal to 0. I hope you know that, which means it is an even function. So this is still that even kind of a function, but now this time it is symmetrical with respect to the line x is equal to 2. That is still parallel. That is still parallel to the y-axis, but this time this line is this, x is equal to 2. So symmetrical means what? Whatever part of the curve is on the right hand side of this 2 will be on the left hand side of this 2. So can I not say, sir, if this curve is symmetrical, you should say that f of 2 plus x and f of 2 minus x will be same. Everybody got that? How many of you were able to crack this part? Symmetrical means what? It is like that even function only. But for even, this 2 is 0. So f of x is equals to f of minus x. But this time, this is symmetrical with respect to x is equals to 2. Which means if a curve is symmetrical with respect to x is equal to a, what will I say? Its curve will be fulfilling this property that f of a plus x is equal to f of a minus x. Everybody got that? Can I move ahead from here? Some basic properties we are using. Let us move towards the next question, an interesting one. I'm giving you a minute's time. Do write your answers in the chat box, and then we'll see how many of you do it. So shall we try this particular part again? I'll repeat that part, Purvi, but let us try and solve this question. I'm giving you 90 seconds to solve this question. So start writing your responses in the chat box. By the time you're done, we'll be seeing how many of you got this right. It will fetch your answers from the comment box. Just write A, B, C, D, whatever you get the answer. Once you write your answers, we'll be seeing how many of you got it right. So I'm waiting for your responses, students, to this question. How many of you got this correct? Do write your answers in the comment box. Whichever option you feel is correct, then we'll be discussing its solution. Even I also don't know this answer because I'll be getting the answer after finally getting the value. But if I could recall, it should be what? I think we have the answer in front of us. Option. Yes, do tell me which option do you think is the correct? Arpan is saying B. Okay, Arpan, what about other participants? Other students also help me with that. All the other students, what do you think could be the answer? The time is running out. 90 seconds, 1.5 minutes were given to you. Do tell me which option do you think could be the correct answer to this question. And if you get it right, we'll see how many of you got this question correct. All right, students, do tell me which option do you think is the correct option to this particular question. We are revising calculus. Okay, Ayush, good. We are revising calculus with the help of PYQs, previous year's questions. In the first part of this video, calculus 1, we have done all the theory of calculus, and this second session we are revising entire calculus with a lot of questions. So okay, I think we have started receiving the answers, and now we can see the results. So to me it looks like option A. I think 0%, nobody marked. What happened? Are you there marking your answers in the chat box? Why did it not pick up? I think it is not linked with the correct stream key there. Because of that, it is not showing you the right results. Okay, forget that. Can we now discuss first of all? Okay, Ayush, I got your point. Now let's try and solve this particular one. Can you tell me how will you approach it? First of all, let us try and crack f of a, because with that I think I'll get a better result. So first of all, what I'll do is I'll replace x by 0 and y also by 0. So when you do so, f of 0 minus 0 is f of 0. Then you get f of 0 into f of 0, that is f of 0 squared, minus f of a minus 0, f of a plus 0. So that is f of a squared. Everybody with me on this? I hope there is no confusion on that. But one thing we know for sure is that f of 0 we are given as 1. So if I substitute a 1 here and a 1 here, so 1, 1, that gives you 0. So first of all, I hope there is no confusion on that. 1 minus 1, 0. So f of a we receive as 0. So first conclusion we get is that, sir, f of a is found to be 0. Sir, what is the advantage of this result? Why are we using this? Okay. Let us try to work out f of 2a minus x. Okay, so how do I do this? F of 2a minus x. I hope I can write this as f of a minus f of a minus x minus a. Give me a quick confirmation. Can I do so? Why did I deliberately do it? Because I think x minus y I can define. So this could be treated as x, this could be treated as y. Everybody listening and understanding this. Now from here, when I move ahead, what do we see? I'll apply this definition only, this functional definition which we are given. So f of x into f of y. So f of x will be f of a into f of y. F of y will be x minus a minus f of a minus x. Pay attention, f of a minus x. So f of a minus x. So f of a minus a, that is 0, into f of a plus y. F of a plus y. What would that be? So it will be f of a plus y. Y is x minus a. Just give me a quick confirmation. Did you all get that? I think we do have the answer in the next step. What is going to be the answer here? Everybody with me on this? Can you crack this? Sir, f of 0 was 0. So this 0 into whole is 0 minus f of a minus a, that is 0. F of 0, a minus a is 0. So f of 0 is 1. So that is 1 into this a and this a are cancelled. You are left with f of x. So my final answer will be negative of f of x. With that, we go ahead with option A. How many of you got this right? Everybody understood this? Are you all there? Listening and understanding, how do we approach functional definition based questions? How do we define them in a manner so that the answer can be attained? Everybody with me on this? Can we move ahead with the next question? That's good. Thank you so much here. Second question, the next question. What are we told? Again, minus 1 to 1, that's the domain. B is the codomain. A function where it is both 1, 1 and onto. Okay, it could be 1, 1, but when it says that it is onto, how do we define it? Okay, great, great, good to have you all students. Now, how do we solve this one? I think when somebody says that it is onto, I think again I'll use the same logic. Which logic, students? Somebody wrote it in the comment box. Codomain and range will be equal. Shall we try and use that? So if I try and use that, I think I need some clarity here. If you are not aware of this, can you help me with this identity here? ITF, inverse trigonometric functions formula we are trying to use here. If you are still confused, all I'm saying is that if you see here, can you not see 2 tan theta upon 1 minus tan square theta? Can you not see that coming into picture? I'll repeat, all I'm saying is that for a while, let's say you take x as tan theta. So this expression is going to be tan inverse of 2 tan theta upon what? 1 minus tan square theta. And what is that identity? From trigo we know 2 tan theta upon 1 minus tan square theta is tan 2 theta. So this is tan inverse of tan 2 theta. They have already ensured that this is the function, so they'll be nullifying each other because that principal domain will be checked and ensured by them, because this is from minus pi by 2 pi by 4. I hope you're understanding my language. From minus 1 to 1 means what? It is from minus pi by 2 to pi by 4. So if double is being done, it will be from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So that principal domain remains intact. So this is still 1, 1 and on 2. But here, if this nullifies this, because this qualifies to be nullified here, so here I'll be having a 2 theta here. But what was theta? Theta was tan inverse x. So here, the function f of x is going to be nothing but what? 2 times tan inverse x. This you could have directly written instead of doing all of this if you are aware of this basic identity. But in case in the examination hall, if you forget any of these, you can create it like this. Although with the practice, you develop this knack that you should remember all these properties. With this, I think I need not tell you what could be the range of this, because here, what about tan inverse x, students? Can you help me with this? Do remember here, the only thing you should take care of is that x is from minus 1 to 1. Pay attention to this. Here, it is 1, 1 and on 2. We know tan inverse x is a strictly increasing function. We did discuss its graph. I hope you remember it. This is how the graph goes like this. I hope you haven't forgotten it. It is, I hope you remember it, minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. You see it like this. Everybody with me on this? From minus infinity to infinity. But if I talk about few values, for example, x being minus 1 and 1, you will be seeing it from minus pi by 4 to pi by 4. I repeat. So when x is from where? Minus 1 to 1, tan inverse x is clearly an increasing function. So it will be from minus pi by 4 to pi by 4. I hope I need not tell you this. How is it coming from? From this graph only, but I need to double it. So double of this will be what? 2 tan inverse x. That is your f of x. So your f of x will lie from minus pi by 2. I'm really sorry, I am making a mistake here. No, I'm not making any mistake here. So it should be from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Do tell me whether I should use closed interval or open interval. That's the catch here. I hope you all are realizing this will be using the closed interval, but I think there is some typing error here, because here both options look same. If the answer is option D, then it should have been the closed interval. So let me make a small correction here, because this should have been a closed interval here. I hope you are getting it very clearly, or shall I repeat that part? Why are we using minus pi by 2 here? Why are we using minus pi? I think I am making a mistake. Minus pi by 2, right? So tan inverse minus pi by 2 is not defined, because there it is minus infinity. So it should be open interval. I'm really sorry. For this value, for minus 1 and 1, it is defined. It is defined. No, it is not closed. It is still open, because no, it is closed. Let me correct that. Why am I saying this? Please pay attention to this. This is 2 tan inverse x. I repeat, tan inverse x from minus 1 to 1. They have used, okay, I'm really sorry. I did not see this. They are using open here. So the answer is option D, open. Let me make that correction here. They did not include minus 1 and 1. Had they included, it would have been closed, but they did not include it. And if they did not include it, it will remain like this. So it should remain like this. And based on that, option D will be the answer. I did not notice this part. It is from minus 1 to 1 open interval. Yes. I hope you all got this. Can I move ahead from here? Everybody understood this solution. Now, let us solve the next question. What do we see next? Here, now we move towards questions based on continuity and differentiability. Let's start solving these questions. How do we solve this one? F of x is given by x minus 1 times sine of 1 upon x minus 1. When x is not 1 and if x is 1, this is 0. Then we are told it is differentiable at 0 and 1. That differentiability we need to check. Everybody with me on this? Now, how do we validate or verify its differentiability? So let us check its differentiability at 1 first. Okay, so when I wish to check its differentiability at 1, I am going to check its LSD, left-hand derivative. I hope you are understanding. F dash 1 minus is what I'm going to do. So I hope you're realizing f dash 1 minus will be given by f of 1 minus h minus f of 1 upon 1 minus h minus 1. That is going to be minus h. Are you all listening and understanding this? Similarly, if I talk about right-hand derivative, that means what? F dash 1 plus. Are you all listening and understanding? That means f of 1 plus h minus f of 1 divided by h. Give me a quick confirmation on this. Were you all aware of this? Left-hand derivative and right-hand derivative. Now, how do I verify this? The first part, f of 1 minus h. So, if it is not 1, that means 1 minus h, which less than 1. So, this definition needs to be picked up, which is what? X minus 1 and sine of 1 upon x minus 1. And what about f of 1? I think f of 1 is 0. So, 0 needs to be subtracted. That I'm not using. Everybody with me on this? So, instead of x, it should be h. So let me write an h here. Otherwise, x is also fine. Of course, limit should also be there. So limit h approaching 0. Here also, limit h approaching 0 should be introduced, which I forgot writing or mentioning. So limit h approaching 0. F of 1 minus h. Everybody with me on this? So f of 1 minus h will be this definition. So it will be h minus 1 times what? Sine 1 upon h minus 1. And there it is f of 1, which is 0, divided by what? Minus h. I hope you all are listening and understanding without any confusion. Are you all there? Everybody with me on this? So here, if I substitute h by 0, what do I get? If I replace h by 0, I think we are going great. H minus 1 sine 1 upon h minus 1. So one thing I am trying to or thinking of doing here is that if I bring this h minus 1 there in the denominator like this, what would happen in that case? Because if I substitute h by 0, I'll have minus 1 here. It will be 1 by minus 1 and here it will be 0. So it will be what? Something substantial upon 0 that is approaching infinity. I hope you all are listening. Or rather, if I could convert it into something else, f of 1 is 0, right? So f of 1 is 0. Denominator should have minus h. Apart from that, what else can we do? I think it is approaching. It is non-differentiable at infinity because the left-hand derivative is approaching infinity. What about right-hand derivative? We need not figure it out first of all. I hope you can see this is not differentiable at x is equal to 1, which means option A or option C could be the answer. I hope you are understanding it. Now I hope everybody got this. Shall I repeat this part? Because if h approaches 0 here as well, if I talk about f of 1 plus h, f of 1 plus h will be what? This only? What? Hold on for a while. I am making a mistake. I am making a blunder here. I am really sorry for that. Let me correct that whole thing here. Just pay attention to this part. Forget everything, whatever I've said. I don't know where was I. Let me write this whole part again. Forget whatever I've said so far. Left-hand derivative, that is what? F dash 1 minus. F dash 1 minus means what? Limit what? H approaches 0. F of 1 minus h minus f of 1 upon 1 minus h minus 1, that is minus h, right? So limit h approaches 0. Pay attention everyone, this is f of x, this is not f of h minus 1 or 1 minus h. So there, when this x is replaced by 1 minus h, when this x is replaced by 1 minus h, pay attention, 1 minus h minus 1. So that is what? Minus h. So this is minus h into sine of what? 1 upon 1 minus h minus 1. So again, that is going to be minus h whole divided by minus h. Everybody listening and understanding this, are we clear now? I hope you have understood it. Previously, I was making a mistake and there this is f of 1 which is 0, which I need not write. So this minus h and this minus h are cancelled, and now when h approaches 0, we know sine 1 upon x oscillatory function. So this is not defined. This limit is not defined. And if it is not defined, it is not differentiable. You need not find the right-hand derivative. Everybody with me on this? So we know that it will be non-differentiable at 1, which means either option A or option C could be the answer, right? Now let's talk about its differentiability at 0. Are you all there, listening, watching and understanding? So now when I find out its left-hand derivative, this was differentiability at 1. Now let's talk about differentiability at 0. I'll be finding left-hand derivative first. So that is f of 0 minus. I hope you're understanding it. F of 0 minus means what? F of, first of all, limit will be there. Limit h approaches 0. f of 0 minus h, that is f of minus h. I hope you all are listening. Minus f of 0 divided by minus h minus 0, that is minus h. Everybody with me on this, the left-hand derivative. Now, with this, when I talk about f of minus h, so f of minus h could be found from here. So when I substitute x by minus h, I hope you can see this right there, minus h minus 1 and sine of 1 upon minus h minus 1. So that minus h minus 1, minus h minus 1, then that minus sign comes out. It is h plus 1 sine 1 upon h plus 1. So in the numerator, it is h plus 1 times sine of what? 1 upon h plus 1. Just give me a quick confirmation. Did you all get that? When I replaced x by minus h, f of 0. Now what is f of 0? If I now wish to write f of 0, don't confuse it with f of 1. F of 0 is going to be 0 minus 1, that's minus 1, and this is sine 1 upon minus 1, that is minus sine minus 1. So minus 1 sine minus 1, that minus comes out, so it will be sine 1. So it should be sine 1 here. Everybody got this? Everybody with me on this? And when I put minus h here, and there you have limit h approaching 0. I hope you are not getting confused with whatever I'm doing here. Now, when I replace h by 0, this becomes sine 1, this is minus sine 1, this is minus h. So sine 1 minus sine 1, that's 0. 0 upon 0, that is L'Hopital rule coming into picture. So when I now apply L'Hopital, pay attention to this part, everybody watching and understanding, now I'll be applying L'Hopital. So with L'Hopital coming into picture, this derivative will become 0, this derivative will become minus 1. So this is what I'll be doing. Derivative of numerator upon derivative of denominator. Everybody with me on this? So if I do it on the next page, here we are with the discussion going on. So if I use L'Hopital here, product rule I'll be applying. Everybody with me on this? So first of all, let us differentiate h plus 1. So when I differentiate h plus 1, the derivative of h plus 1 is what? 1 into the second function. What is second function? Sine of 1 upon h plus 1. So that is sine of 1 upon h plus 1, right? Plus. Then I'll keep the first function as it is. H plus 1 remains as it is. So h plus 1 remains as it is. And then derivative of sine of 1 upon h plus 1. So sine, chain rule if I use, it will be cos of 1 upon h plus 1. I hope you all are listening. And now I'll be differentiating 1 upon h plus 1. So 1 upon h plus 1 is what? H plus 1 to the power minus 1. So if I say h plus 1 to the power minus 1, so that is minus first of all. So minus can I introduce here? And h plus 1 to the power minus 1, that is h plus 1 to the power minus 2. That minus 2 when I bring here can be written it like this, h plus 1 whole square in the denominator. So technically it is nothing but what? H plus 1 in the denominator. So it will be 1 upon h plus 1. Give me a quick update on this. And this whole expression should be divided by the derivative of minus h, which is minus 1. Everybody listening and understanding this? Are you all there? Comfortably getting this result. Now from here, if I again apply the limit h approaching 0, there I get sine 1, there I get sine 1. I hope you are listening and understanding. Minus, this is 0, so 1, this is cos 1. So sine 1 minus cos 1 divided by minus 1, so this is minus, this is plus. This is your left-hand derivative. Everybody understood this? This is going to be the left-hand derivative. Now let's talk about the right-hand derivative at 0. So now let's check its right-hand derivative. Right-hand derivative at 0 means what? F dash 0 plus. So that will be defined by f of 0 plus h minus f of 0 divided by 0 plus h minus 0, that is h, where h is approaching 0. I hope you're not forgetting that. So here, when h is approaching 0, f of h means what? This definition, h minus 1 sine 1 upon h minus 1. So this is h minus 1 sine of 1 upon h minus 1. What about f of 0? I need to write f of 0 as well. F of 0 will be minus 1 sine minus 1. I hope you're understanding it. So sine minus 1 comes out, it becomes plus sine 1. So plus sine 1 with this minus becomes whole of sine 1 divided by again this h. Everybody listening and understanding this without any confusion. Now when I substitute h by 0, this is minus 1, this is minus 1, minus 1 comes out. So this is sine 1 minus sine 1. Numerator is 0, denominator is also 0. So 0 by 0 form, what I'll be using is L'Hopital. So when I again use L'Hopital, I'll be differentiating numerator and denominator. So denominator becomes 1, this becomes 0. So numerator is what? This particular part needs to be differentiated, where limit h is approaching 0. So h minus 1 differentiated gives you 1. Sine 1 upon h minus 1, that is cos of 1 upon h minus 1, and 1 upon h minus 1 when differentiated, sorry, I'm really sorry. First of all, first function as it is, h minus 1 remains as it is. First function differentiated gives you 1. Second function remains as it is, sine of 1 upon h minus 1 into plus. Now, first function as it is, that is h minus 1 into derivative of second function. So sine of 1 upon h minus 1. That gives you cos of 1 upon h minus 1. Now I'll be differentiating 1 upon h minus 1 as per the chain rule. That will again be h minus 1 whole square in the denominator. So this gives you here h minus 1 whole square in the denominator. So that leaves you with 1 upon h minus 1. Everybody understanding this comfortably, or shall I re-explain this part? So this is what you get. Now, when I substitute h by 0, so this is 0, so this is sine minus 1. Are you all listening and understanding this? This is sine minus 1 plus, I hope you all are there. This is minus 1, this is cos of minus 1. Cos is even function, so this is cos 1 with minus 1. So that is again what? Minus of cos 1. So that leaves you with minus of sine 1, minus of cos 1. Let me check it with the left-hand derivative. This was cos 1. No. Minus 1 was there in the denominator. Cos 1 will be there in the numerator because of this 1 and this 1. So cos 1 is positive, sine 1 is negative. But here we are getting cos 1 to be negative and sine 1 also to be negative. What is the answer here? The answer is C. It is differentiable at 0. Why are we not getting it same? Am I making any calculation based error? Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me check its right-hand derivative. F of f of 0, h minus 1, 1, h minus 1, h, right, h minus 1, 1 upon h minus 1. So there, when I differentiated this part, h minus 1 differentiated become 1. This is sine 1 upon h minus 1. Stays like this, plus. Then I keep h minus 1 like that only, sine 1, h upon minus, this is cos 1 upon h minus 1. H minus 1 squared, so that gets cancelled when you replace h by 0. This is minus sine 1, that is there. And that is minus cos 1, because cos is basically what? An even function. So minus 1 gets consumed. So this is minus sine 1 minus cos 1. So that is correct. Let us talk about left-hand derivative as well. What was left-hand derivative? Left-hand derivative, let me recheck. So left-hand derivative is what? F of minus h minus f of 0 upon minus h, 0 minus h, f of 0, 0 minus h minus 0. And there f of minus h. So when I write f of minus h minus 1, minus h minus 1. So minus minus comes out, h plus 1, h plus 1. So that is what we have written. Minus f of 0. F of 0 will be what? F of 0. So 0, 0, minus 1, minus 1. So plus sine 1. And because of this, it should be minus sine 1. That is also correct. And in the denominator, it is minus h. Now h plus 1 sine 1 upon h plus 1, right? H plus 1. This is what I need to check. Give me a moment, students. Let me keep it here so that it is staying there only. Here. So what are we discussing? H plus 1 sine, because see, when h is replaced by 0, this is 1, this is sine 1 minus 1. Sine 1 is 0 by 0, 0 by 0 means what? When denominator differentiated gives you minus 1, and when numerator differentiated, h plus 1 sine 1 upon h plus 1. So h plus 1 becomes 1, sine 1 upon h plus 1. And then you keep h plus 1 as it is, and there you introduce the derivative of sine 1 upon h plus 1. So when you differentiate it, yes, I am making a mistake. There is something wrong with the right-hand derivative. There should have been a minus sign here. I got it now. There it should have been a minus sign, because when 1 upon h minus 1 differentiated gives you minus 1 upon h minus 1 whole square. So this minus sign should have been there. And because of this, this will become plus. Everybody got this? Because one minus another minus will make it positive. So cos 1 minus sine 1, and here also cos 1 minus sine 1. Yes. So with that, the LHD and RHD at 0 is same. So this is differentiable at 0 but non-differentiable at 3. A very silly error I committed. I did not, let me tell you the error which I did. Here, when I found the right-hand derivative, when I differentiated sine 1 upon h minus 1, so as per the derivative chain rule, it should be cos 1 upon h minus 1. And when we differentiate 1 upon h minus 1, it should be minus 1 upon h minus 1 whole square. So this minus sign I did not introduce. Everybody got this? Some silly errors you should avoid. This kind of mistakes you should not make. Let's talk about this. There will use properties and solve these questions within seconds. How? Let's have a look at that. F of x is x mod x, g of x is sin x. Now what is statement 1? Statement 1 says g of f. Pay attention, g of f of x. So if I define x mod x, that is what? F of x. How will I be defining it? Sir, I'll be saying it to be either x square or minus x square. When do we call it x square? Sir, whenever x is non-negative, it is x square, and whenever x is negative, it is minus x square. Do you all agree? Now g of x should also be redefined. G of x is what? Sin x. So if I now talk about g of f of x, if I now talk about g of f of x, because basically we need to make our comment on g of f of x. So g of f of x, if it is redefined, I hope you are understanding, f of x and g of x both are continuous. Both are continuous. So if both of them are continuous, their composition will also be continuous. So you need not define g of f of x. I'll say that both will be continuous. Both will be continuous at 0. So if statement 1 says g of f is differentiable at 0 and its derivative is continuous at that point, I think I need to define this. So in that case, first of all, let us define g of x, because they are asking you the differentiability of the derivative, right? Or the continuity of the derivative. So first of all, g of f of x. So when f of x is non-negative, it is x square. So g of f of x will be sine of x square. So it will be sine of x square whenever x is non-negative. And it will be sine of minus x square, which means minus sine x square whenever x is negative. First of all, give me a quick update. Did you all get that? Now, if I ask you about its continuity, I hope you all must agree that, sir, it is continuous. Why is it continuous? Because it is clearly continuous, because left hand limit and right hand limit both are 0. So it is clearly continuous. Do you all agree? Everybody with me on this? Now, can we talk about its differentiability, the differentiability of this function? I hope you all are agreeing with me on this, that, sir, x mod x, if you talk about x mod x, sir, mod x is continuous, x is continuous. Everybody listening and understanding this? And x is differentiable at 0. And f of 0 is 0. So here, I hope you remember that theorem we discussed in the theory part. This function is differentiable at 0. Because this brought non-differentiability, but this x becoming 0 at that point, making it differentiable. I hope you remember, we did discuss this property, f of x into g of x. If we have f of x to be continuous and differentiable, but g of x is continuous only, but at that point f of a is found to be 0, in that case we need not talk about the differentiability of g of x, and we say that f of x into g of x is differentiable at a. Do you remember we had a discussion on this, all the participants? So on the basis of that, I can say x mod x is differentiable at 0. Sin x is already differentiable at 0, so their composition will also be differentiable at 0. So first of all, we say that g of f of x is differentiable at 0. So the first part of statement 1 is correct. Now we need to tell that its derivative is continuous at 0 or not. Okay, so find out, let's find out g dash, its derivative. So when I talk about the derivative of g of f of x, right, the derivative of this function, what would that be? So as per this definition, it will be cos x square, chain rule I'm using. So it will be cos x square, and derivative of x square is 2x. Similarly, the sin x square minus sin x square, when differentiated, it is minus cos x square, and the derivative of x square is 2x, so it is minus 2x. Again, the definition will be this when x is non-negative, this when x is negative. I'm supposed to check its continuity, the continuity of the derivative at 0. So continuity of the derivative at 0 means what? If I talk about this at 0, so this is 2 into 0 into cos 1, so that is 0. The left hand limit, I hope you are understanding. What about the right hand limit? The right hand limit, if I find from here, 0 and 0, cos 0 is 1, 1 into 0 is 0, minus 0 is also 0. So this derivative is continuous at 0. So statement 1 is definitely correct. This is continuous at that point. So statement 1 is correct. Statement 2, g of f is twice differentiable at x is equal to 0. Okay, let's check this. So if I now differentiate this, we have already differentiated it. I hope you can see it. It was already continuous. I hope you can see this. Now, they are saying that it is twice differentiable. Okay, so let me redifferentiate it. So I'm finding the second derivative of g of f of x. I hope you're comfortably understanding whatever I'm doing. So second derivative means what? Now, I'll be differentiating this, and I'll be checking its differentiability at 0. The second derivative at 0. I hope you're understanding it. Directly I can say so, because this function is continuous. So instead of using the basic principle of differentiability, I can now differentiate them and check them where they are changing their definitions for their differentiability. I hope you remember this method as well. So I'll be differentiating this. So 2 comes out or stays outside. The derivative of x is 1. You keep the second function as it is, which is cos x square, plus x is kept as it is. Cos x square's derivative is what? Minus of sin x square, and the derivative of x square will be 2x. So give me a quick confirmation. Do you all get that? What I did was 2 was kept outside. The derivative of x was 1. Cos x square kept as it is. Plus was there initially. Then x is kept as it is. And then cos x square becomes minus sin x square and x square becomes 2x. So because of this, this is how your second derivative looks like when x is positive. Sir, when x is negative, what happens? I'll say minus 2 is kept outside. Then again, it is x cos x whole square. So the entire operation remains same only. So it will be again cos x square minus 2 x square sin x square. Give me a quick confirmation on that. Everybody understood this? Now from here, if I talk about its differentiability at 0, so what will be the left-hand derivative? This left-hand derivative will be what? X when replaced by 0. This whole is 0. Cos 0 is 1. So it is 2. What about the right-hand derivative, students? Can you not see? Sir, the right-hand derivative is what? This is 0, this is 1, so minus 2 into 1, that is minus 2. And I can see the left-hand derivative and right-hand derivative of the second derivative is not same. I hope you got this, all the participants. And because of that, what happened is somebody highlighting something. Arpan and everyone, are you all understanding this? So if left-hand derivative and right-hand derivative are not same, which means it is non-differentiable, is at 0. And if it is non-differentiable, I think it is not a differentiable. That means statement 2 is false. So statement 1 is true, statement 2 is false. Everybody understood this? Can I move towards the next question for the day, students? Here, when we look at the next question, I hope you have understood this particular property. This f r to r be a positive increasing function. This is a positive increasing function. So first of all, we know this is positive and it is increasing. So if it is increasing means what? I can say x, 2x and 3x. When I say that x is approaching infinity, so I'm taking positive values of x. So when x is positive, x will be less than 2x, 2x will be less than 3x. Everybody with me on this? If I divide all the three sides by x, so it will be 1. This will be 2x by x. I hope you are understanding it. Okay. No, I'm not doing this. First of all, we have x, 2x and 3x. If it is positive increasing function, so if I take f of x, 2x and 3x, that will also maintaining same order because this is an increasing function. So if I ask you f of x, if I ask you about f of 2x, and if I ask you about f of 3x, that will also remain same. That will also remain same. Do you all agree with me on this, all the participants from here? Now, I am going to divide all the three sides by f of x. Since x is approaching infinity, this is positive increasing function. That means f of x will be positive. So if f of x is positive, can I divide all the three sides by f of x? So here I'm dividing this side by f of x. I am dividing this also by f of x, and I'm dividing this also by f of x. Everybody got this? Everybody with me on this? Now from here, when I apply limit x approaches infinity, when I apply limit x approaches infinity here, limit x approaches infinity here, limit x approaches infinity here. Do tell me, fx upon fx is 1, so x approaches infinity, x, yes, some questions are like that only. Basics of your JEE Maths is what we are revising with these questions. But please understand, they all are your previous year's questions of JEE Mains. Do you teach any batch right now? Yes, rank booster, we are teaching Amazing Adi. So with this f of 2x upon f of x, that's exactly what we're trying to figure out. So that's your question in between, and that is less than f of 3x upon f of x, which is given as 1. So I think we have used squeeze theorem, sandwich theorem. So our question, the range of this lies between 1 and 1. So as per sandwich theorem or squeeze theorem, can I not say the answer is going to be option D? I hope this was easy, simple and doable. If you know the basics, you could have cracked this question. Can I move ahead towards the next question? Can you help me with this question? Can you answer this question? What about this question, students? I hope you all can see this question. Now, if you think that, sir, 1 minus cos theta, I hope you know that. I did not tell you this version. Cos 2 theta is either 2 cos square theta minus 1 or 1 minus 2 sin square theta. And from there you see two formulae coming into picture. Which two, students? That's good, Kala Kaddu. That's brilliant. Perfect. So with this, I hope you all must agree that 1 plus cos 2 theta is 2 cos square theta and 1 minus cos 2 theta is 2 sin square theta. I hope you know that. So 1 minus cos 2 theta is what? 2 cos square theta. So this is 2 theta. So theta will be what? X minus 2. Give me a quick confirmation on that. And this divided by x minus 2. Sorry, this is 1 minus cos. So this is 2 sin square theta. I'm really sorry. So this is 2 sin square x minus 2. Now, how many of you are thinking or believing that you have cracked the question? How many of you are thinking that it can be written as root 2 times root of this? That is perfectly fine. I hope you all agree with me, but that's good, students. That's brilliant. But I hope most of you are realizing that there is a catch, because when limit x approaches 2 is applied, when this square root cancels this square, root 2 is there, but here you will be having sine of x minus 2. That's brilliant. A lot of students have already started answering, and there is a catch. I hope you're understanding. LHL and RHL will not meet here. Good evening, sir. I wanted your advice about taking a drop for JEE. I attended JEE coaching class, discontinued midway and focused only on boards in 12th. I think you should, if you believe that you want to get a good college. And if you are not getting a good college teamwork right now, then you should go for taking a drop. If you think that you have the potential, you should. So with that, when x approaches 2, I hope you know, had it been sin x minus 2 upon sin x minus 2, it would have been 1. But again, mod of this will make it discontinuous. Basically, the LHL and RHL will not be same. And because of that, we'll say that it does not exist. Everybody got this? Can I move ahead from here? All the participants. Let's try and solve the next question. This is where I was trying to talk you about the expansions you should be aware of. Although in this question, we'll not be using it directly. We can solve it with some simple observation only. But this category of questions can be done with expansions. And now, in these years, they are asking you questions based on expansions. So the general expansions which we discussed in the first part should be learnt and remembered by you. Now, let's focus on this question. Sin p plus 1x plus sin x. If I now focus here, I hope you all must agree. This is said to be a continuous function. If it is said to be a continuous function, its value at 0, its left hand limit at 0 and its right hand limit at 0 should be same. Everybody with me on this? So if I talk about LHL, the left hand limit, what would that be? Sir, sin p plus 1. Sin p plus 1 x by x I'm having. So if I wish to have a p plus 1 here, I'll be having p plus 1 here. I hope everybody is with me. And this is going to be sin x by x, where x is approaching 0, right? So when x approaches 0, this is 1. This all should be 1, but I'm left with p plus 1. So my left hand limit turns out to be p plus 1. But what is the value of the function at 0? So the value of the function at 0 is q. So that is what we have gotten. But the third thing, the right hand limit. So for the right hand limit, all I'll do is, can I take under root x common first of all? So when I take under root x common, here I'm taking x common. So under root x comes out. I hope you're understanding. So when I take x common, it will be 1 plus x inside the under root side minus 1. And when that root x comes out, that root x cancels this x to the power 3 by 2. So that leaves you with x. And there again, I'm applying limit x approaches 0. Now here, when I rationalize it, I'll be having 1 plus root x plus 1 in the numerator and root over 1 plus x plus 1 in the denominator. So this is again a plus b, a minus b, that is a square minus b square. So 1 plus x minus 1, that is x in the numerator. I hope you are there. In the denominator, x is already there, times under root 1 plus x plus 1, where limit x is approaching 0. So this x are cancelled. When x approaches 0, this is 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So this is 1 by 2. So the left hand limit, right hand limit and the value of the function should be same. So I have gotten these three things, that p plus 1 should be equal to q, should be equal to 1 by 2. And by comparing them, I think you can crack p, q and everything. Did you all get this? I hope if you encounter this category of questions, how should you approach them? Are you getting the basic idea here? Now let's focus on this question. Can you help me with the answer to this question, students? Everybody look at the screen and try to solve this particular one. All these students, give me a quick response. Are you all there listening, watching and understanding? Quick update on this, students. Everybody with me on this? Here. R to R, this function is defined by f of x, gi of x cos of 2x minus 1 by 2 pi. Now pay attention to this. My concern here is a very simple one, that here, this function is a continuous function. This function is continuous function except for the integral values of x. I repeat, this is continuous everywhere. This is also continuous, but this is not continuous whenever x is an integer. By just looking at this only, we are going to conclude our answer. We are not going to solve this whole question. The only problem, again, I'll be using that same property which I mentioned here. Pay attention to this. I am saying that here, GIF of x will get a discontinuous at all the integral values of x. But the important or crucial part here is, I hope you know, discontinuous into continuous. I am now going to check what will it give me when x become integer. So when x becomes integer, this is 2 into an integer minus 1. So 2n minus 1, let's say n is an integer. No, it's not discontinuous. Pay attention here. When x is an integer, 2n minus 1 is an odd number. So 2n minus 1 by 2. I hope you're understanding. Whenever x is an integer, first of all, if x is not an integer, we can say that f of x is clearly continuous. Why am I saying so? Because this is continuous everywhere. This is continuous for non-integral values. So continuous into continuous is continuous. So f of x is continuous for all the non-integral values. What about integral values? So when x is integer, let's say, to make you understand, I'll take x as n, where n is an integer. Pay attention, everyone. So this becomes GIF of n times cos of what? Cos of 2n minus 1 by 2 pi, or this in a better language I can write as cos 2n minus 1 times pi by 2, and there I'm having GIF of n. So this could have been showing me discontinuity, but this is becoming 0. So if it was showing me discontinuity, but this is becoming 0, why? Because any odd multiple of pi by 2, when taken inside the cos, when you take the cos ratio of any odd multiple of pi by 2, it becomes 0. So 0 into anything is 0, and that's where, because of this becoming 0, it is again continuous at the integral points as well. Did you understand the catch? I repeat, here at the integral points also, if it was getting discontinuous, this became 0, and if this became 0, yes, integer per continuous kar dega. That's a good observation, Kala Kaddu. So it is continuous everywhere for all the real values of x. Everybody understood this? I hope you all are there, listening, watching and understanding. From here, let us solve the next question. What does it say? A function is given f of x mod of x minus 2 mod of x minus 5, where x is a real number, and there f dash 4 is set to be 0. Okay, perfectly fine with that. F is continuous in 2 to 5, differentiable in 2 to 5, and told that f of 2 is equal to f of 5. Then what are we told? Statement 1 is this, statement 2 is this, and then we need to use both of the data. Okay, first of all, forget statement 1 and statement 2. Can I not see this graph? You must have seen the graphs of these category of functions. If you could draw the graph, you would say everything related to this. I hope you know how to draw the graph of mod of x minus 2 plus mod of x minus 5. So I'll be dividing my graph into 3 regions. First region when x is less than 2, second region when x is from 2 to 5, and third region when x is from greater than 5. I hope you know that. So when x is less than 2, I hope you will be seeing a straight line coming into picture. From 2 to 5 there will be a line, and from 5 also it will be a straight line. But how do we draw it? If I wish to redefine it, I'll be redefining it like this, where x is first of all less than 2, second region when x is between 2 to 5, and the third region when x is greater than 5. I hope you all are there, listening and understanding. When x is less than 2, you can take any value less than 2, say 0. So minus minus, that is negative. So it will be 2 minus x, 5 minus x. So 2 minus x, 5 minus x, that is 7 minus 2x. When x is greater than 5, both are positive. So x minus 2, x minus 5, that is 2x minus 7. So I hope you can see both of these lines are directly can be drawn. But what about this part when x is from 2 to 5? So when greater than 2, this will be positive, but this will be negative. So x minus 2, 5 minus x. So x and x are cancelled. 5 minus 2 is 3. So this is how you define this function first of all. Everybody understood this? Now if I try and draw these graphs, what do I get? What do I get, students? First of all, for all the values of x which are less than 2, for all the values of x which are less than 2, I can see a line decrease, having negative slope, so which means it is decreasing. So it will be like this only. And here at 2, what will be there? At 2, it will be 2 into 2, 4. 4, 7 minus 4 is 3. So I'll be getting it as 3. From 2 to 5, it stays at 3. And at 5, 2 into 5, 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. And it goes like this because the slope is positive. So this is how the graph will be drawn. From this only, you should crack this, that this is only how the graph will look like. Always remember this general result, this direct result. One thing you should understand is that this is continuous. But since it is having sharp turns at 2 and 5, it is non-differentiable at 2 and 5. Everybody got this? So first of all, if somebody says f dash 4 is 0, f dash 4 is 0, I'll say 4 will be here. And at 4, if I draw a tangent, it will be parallel to the x-axis. So that clearly tells me that f dash 4 will be 0. It is continuous in 2 to 5, differentiable in 2 to 5. It is not Yes, it is differentiable in open interval 2 to 5, and f of 2 and f of 5 are equal. Yes, I think that is true. That is definitely true because it is differentiable in open interval 2 to 5. Although it is not differentiable in 2 and 5, closed interval they clearly did not mention. But I will say one thing for sure, that statement 2 is not a correct explanation for statement 1. So you wouldn't say that option B is correct. You will say option C because both are true, but 2 is not a correct explanation of 1. Did you all get this? Option C, all the participants. Can I move ahead from here? Here, when I go ahead with the second question or the next question, this is what we see. Okay. Let us take a 10 minutes break. It is 7:45. Let us resume at 7:50. Right? Let us take a 10 minutes break. So we'll be resuming at 7 what? 45 it is. 7:55 is what when I'll be resuming, or rather at 8 o'clock. I hope that's okay. So at 8 I'll be resuming. Let's take a 15 minutes break and then we'll be resuming. I'll have my dinner, then we'll continue this. All right, students, just give me a quick confirmation. Are you all there? That's good, Arpan. That's great. A lot of students are still responding. Just give me a quick response. I hope I'm clearly audible and visible to all the participants who are watching it right now. Let us get started with the discussion we all are having, right? Okay, give me a moment. I hope I'm clearly visible and audible. It says f minus 1 to 1 to r be a differentiable function. F of 0 is minus 1, f dash 0 is 1, and gx is defined like this, then g dash 0 is needed to be found. I think basic chain rule can be applied. So if I could or want to define g dash x, how will it look like? I hope you can see this function is a composite function. So first of all, 2 will be brought here. So 2 times whole of this, which is f of 2 times f of x plus 2. Whole of this is raised to the power 2 minus 1. Give me a quick confirmation. F of 2 f of x plus 2. Now, as per the chain rule, I'll be going outside in. Everybody listening and understanding. So, outside in means what? This is what is needed to be differentiated. So, this will be f dash of 2 times f of x plus 2. Give me a quick confirmation. F dash of 2 times f of x plus 2 dot. Now when I go inside, I think I need to differentiate this. 2 times f of x plus 2. So it will be 2 times f dash x plus 2. 2 means becoming 0. Everybody listening, watching and understanding, this is how your g dash x look like. But here I need to find g dash 0. So g dash 0 will be 2 times f of 0 plus 2 dot f dash 2 times f of 0 plus 2 times 2 times f dash 0. Just give me a quick update on this. Everybody got this? Am I clear with this? Now, f0 we know is minus 1. So can I replace this by minus 1 directly here? So this is minus 1, then 2 minus 2 becomes 0. So this whole will be 0. Here again, we know f of 0 is minus 1. So 2 minus 2 will be 0 again. So this will be f dash 0. And here that is f dash 0 already. So I think we have gotten our final answer. Our final answer will be 2 times f of 0. What is f of 0? That is minus 1. F dash 0 is 1. And that is again 2 times f dash 0, that is again 1. So with that, I think the answer should be minus 4, option A. Everybody got that? How many of you got this answer? Option A. Are you all there? Listening, watching and understanding. Can I move ahead from here? The next question. This is an interesting one, and I'll be really hoping that how many of you get the right answer to this question. A lot of students commit a lot of errors here. So when you look at d2x by dy square, how do you interpret it? Which option is the correct option? Can you help me with the correct option here, students? Pay attention to this. How do we solve it? And if you have cracked it, do write your response or answer in the chat box. I am eagerly waiting for your responses. d2x by dy square. Let us try and work it out. First of all, pay attention to this. With the Newton-Leibniz coefficient, we know dy by dx are so flexible in nature that this can be written as dx by dy raised to the power minus 1. That is perfectly fine, because here they are for both, Parnika, JEE Mains and Advanced both, right? We take care of both. We'll be taking care of both, but right now we are preparing for mains, so we are keeping it up to mains only. We are preparing for April attempt right now. With these marathons, we are making you prepare for the April attempt, but the classes are for mains and advanced both. We'll be solving the complete theory, the comprehensive theory up to JEE advanced level, all the concepts which are required to be learned by you for the JEE advanced as well. And we'll be solving mains and advanced both previous year's questions, so that you understand everything. Did you get my point, Parnika? Now from here, when I define d2x by dy square, how do I see it coming into picture? Just hold on for a while. So I'll say that I'll be saying that here d2x by dy square, if I wish to write, can I not write it as dx by dy differentiated with respect to y? So dx by dy will be your d2x by dy square. Give me a quick confirmation on that. Everybody got this? Now one thing I do here is a very small or a slight change I do is to make it look like what we are given in the options here. Can I do one thing here, that here d by dy I don't touch at all outside, but inside this dx by dy can I write as dy by dx to the power minus 1, because they are flexible in nature. That can be done. Everybody listening and understanding this, all the participants. Now from here, I am trying to say that this here dy by dx will be an expression in x, and I wish to differentiate this, even if you take its inverse means reciprocal, that will also be an expression in x. And if I wish to differentiate it with respect to x, there we are doing it with y. So I need to have the coefficient, dx. So if I wish to have a dx, all I'll do, a very simple task here is, what can I do here is, pay attention to this part everyone. Dx I'm introducing here with respect to this dy by dx raised to the power minus 1, pay attention to this. But when I introduce this dx, I need to balance it out. So can I have this dy with that dx getting balanced? Everybody listening and understanding this, what did I just do? All the participants, or shall I re-explain this part? All I did was, I could see that here dy by dx will be an expression in x. Even if you take its inverse means reciprocal, that will still be an expression in x. So that expression in x, when needed to be differentiated with respect to x, I need a dx here. So that dx I have brought with this change, with this adjustment. Everybody with me on this? Now from here, when I solve it further, what I do is, dy by dx is an expression. Raised to the power minus 1 is also an expression. That needs to be differentiated with respect to dx. Okay, so that dx by dy stays outside. I'm not touching this particular part, dx by dy. Okay, that I'm keeping outside. I hope you are comfortably understanding whatever I'm doing here. But when this is differentiated with respect to x, chain rule is what I can apply. So I'll be having a minus 1 here. I'll be having a minus 1. Something to the power minus 1 is what? Minus 1. Something to the power minus 1. So that will be minus 1 dy by dx to the power what? Minus 1 is minus 2. Are you all listening and understanding? Now as per the chain rule, when you differentiate dy by dx with respect to x, what you get is, I hope you are understanding, it will be d2y by dx square. Give me a quick confirmation. Did you all get that? Or shall I repeat this part? I repeat my part. ddx of dy by dx to the power minus 1, as per the chain rule, will be minus 1 dy by dx to the power minus 2 into ddx of dy by dx, that is d2y by dx square. Are you all learning, understanding and getting it? Can I move ahead from here? So one thing I have gotten here is that dx by dy stays outside, minus also comes outside. So what I now do is, I hope you can see it, dy by dx to the power minus 2, can I take its reciprocal? So I'll have this as dx by dy to the power 2, and this is also dx by dy, so that will be dx by dy to the power 3 times d2y by dx square. Are we given it in one of the options? So this is given in the options, but it is simply, still swapped. So this dx by dy, I'll write as dy by dx only. I'll write as dy by dx only, but if I try to do so, I'll need to introduce a minus 3 here instead of 3, and that is d2y by dx square with the negative sign. Option C needs to be marked. How many of you got this? How many of you understood this? Everybody with me on this? So this was needed to be done with this particular one. This is something really simple and easy. How can you crack it? Sec of tan inverse x at x is equal to 1. Okay, perfectly fine. First of all, I hope you know the chain rule will come into picture. Now, what is the meaning of using chain rule? Sec theta. So if I wish to figure out dy by dx, sec theta is what? Sec x tan x. So it will be sec of tan inverse of x times tan of tan inverse of x. Now we know tan of tan inverse x is x for all the real numbers. That's perfectly fine. Now here I need to use the chain rule. As per the chain rule, this tan inverse x needs to be differentiated, and the differentiation of tan inverse x is 1 upon 1 plus x square. So that is your dy by dx. First of all, how many of you get this? How many of you got this? Everybody understood this? Good, Arpan. Good. That's brilliant. Now from here, all I need to have is, I need to find dy by dx at x is equal to 1. So if I wish to have dy by dx at x is equal to 1, I think it will be sec of tan inverse 1. That is, tan inverse 1 is what? Pi by 4. So it is sec of pi by 4. This is tan of tan inverse 1, which is 1 only, divided by what? 1 plus x square. That is 1 plus 1. That is 2. What is sec pi by 4? You tell me cos pi by 4. I'll tell you sec pi by 4. That sec cos pi by 4 is what? 1 by root 2. I hope you know that. Why will it be happened 1 by 2? I think it will not be 1 by 2. So if cos pi by 4 is 1 by root 2, it will be root 2. I hope you are understanding it. So it will be root 2 by 2. So the answer will be 1 by root 2. A very small correction here, I think, needed to be made. Everybody understood this? Can I move ahead from here? Very basic, decent, simple questions. Here, g is the inverse of a function. A good question it is. And of f. So we are told that g is the inverse of f. So can I say g inverse x is f of x? Give me a quick update on this. Can I say so? From here, can I say this as well, that here g is the inverse of f of x? Can I not say this also, that f inverse x is equal to g of x? I hope that is also correct. Absolutely correct. Everybody listening and understanding this, we are told f inverse x is equal to g of x. So from here, I can say that f of g of x will be x. Give me a quick update on this. Are you all getting it? F inverse x is gx. That means f of g of x will be x. If I differentiate that expression to reach to somewhere here, can I not say something very decent here? Pay attention to this part. F of g of x is x. So if I apply chain rule, differentiation, so f dash of g of x dot, I hope you all are listening and understanding, dot g dash x. Everybody with me on this? I repeat, f dash of g of x dot g dash x is going to be, I hope you all are there, chain rule, f dash of g of x dot g dash x is equal to 1. I hope there is no confusion on that. Now what are we asked? We are asked the value of g dash x. Okay, perfectly fine. So can I say g dash x will be 1 upon f dash of g of x? Give me a quick update on this. Everybody got this? Now please pay attention to this. F dash x is 1 upon x plus 1 upon 1 plus x to the power 5. So f dash of k will be 1 upon 1 plus k to the power 5. So f dash of something will be 1 upon 1 plus something to the power 5. So f dash of g of x will be what? So it will be 1 upon 1 plus that something, that is what? Gx to the power 5. Everybody got this? Everybody understood this? That's good, Arpan. That's good, Kalakadu. And with that, I'll say option A will be the correct answer. Everybody understood this? Can I move ahead from here? A very basic, decent, simple question it was. Let's solve the next question. What does it say? For x is equal to 0 to 1 by 4. 0 to 1 by 4. Okay, perfect. I think there is some correction here. It is not 0 to 1 by 4. Okay, let me see this correction later. But right now, we need to find the derivative of this. Okay. Now, with inverse function, instead of straight away starting to differentiate, you should focus on simplifying this. And if you could pay attention to this expression, you will see something coming out of this. What do I mean by that? All I'm trying to make you understand is that here, if for a while, if I write 6x root x as 2 times 3x root x, can I say so, or can I write it like this? Let me see what do we have in the denominator. I'm trying to convert it into the formula, but here 3x into root x, I think it is done, yes. So it will be 2 3x into root x, 1 minus. Can you help me with the square of 3x root x? Can you help me with the square of 3x root x? I hope you can see. Sir, isn't it option B? Okay, Manish, we'll definitely see, but let me just see it once. Here, 3x root x, I hope you can see 3 square is 9. X root x is what? X to the power 3 by 2. And x to the power 3 by 2 when squared gives you x cube. So I think I have written this expression only. But why did I do so? I hope most of you must have noticed it very clearly. That here it is nothing but what? Tan inverse 2, I hope you are understanding, a upon 1 minus a square. If for a while I take 3x root x as a. I hope you are getting it. And for this, we know, if I tell you tan inverse of 2k upon 1 minus k square is always what? 2 tan inverse k. Do you remember that? We did learn this identity in ITF. And if for the earlier question, not this one, sir. Isn't it option B? Did I mark option A in the previous question? Then g dash x is equal to, g dash x should be f dash g of x. Yes, I am really sorry. I should take its reciprocal. I did not write it. So I am in a different world today. 1 upon f dash of g of x will be 1 upon 1 plus. Thank you so much for that correction, student. Thank you so much for that correction. So with this, when this goes in the numerator, this becomes option B. Thank you so much for correcting it, Manish. Good. That's brilliant. Now with this, I will come back to this. So I hope you are understanding how are we rearranging it, and I hope I can do so. And with this rearrangement, I'll say that this will be, this entire expression will be 2 times tan inverse k. But what is k here? This is your k, 3x root x. First of all, give me a quick confirmation. Did you all get that? And x root x is nothing but what? X to the power 3 by 2. Everybody with me on this? X to the power 1, x to the power 1 by 2, that is x to the power 3 by 2. Now from here, when I go ahead, what do I see? I think the question is almost done, because now instead of differentiating this, which could have been, a little more complicated, I think we have simplified this and we know how to differentiate this. I think this is something easy. So now if this is our f of x, right, its derivative is what we need to find out. So now I'll be finding f dash x. So it is going to be 2 times tan inverse. So tan inverse of x is 1 upon 1 plus x square. So it is 1 upon 1 plus x square. So square of 3x to the power 3 by 2. That is what? 9x cube. Give me a quick update on this. Everybody listening and understanding this? Or shall I repeat this part? I'm really sorry. This is 1 upon 1 plus x square. I hope no confusion on that. Everybody with me on this? But there in gx it is. Okay, we'll talk about that later. But give me a quick update. 2 is there. Tan inverse x is 1 upon 1 plus x square. Everybody with me on this? Now let's talk about the second part. What is the second part here? The second part is differentiating 3x to the power 3 by 2. Then why are we having for x? Okay, I got it. Correct. So here I'll be differentiating 3x to the power 3 by 2. So 3x to the power 3 by 2, that 3 will be outside. 3 by 2 will also come into picture, and x to the power 3 by 2 means what? X to the power 1 by 2 when differentiated, that is root x. So this and this are cancelled. You get 9 upon 1 plus 9x cube. So 9 upon 1 plus 9x cube you are given in option C. Both are same. 9 upon 1 plus 9x cube. I think there is some typing error. Either C or D. There should have been difference, but they are saying option D. So let's say here it could have been minus. So if it was minus, option D will be correct. I hope you're understanding. It doesn't matter. Option. The approach you must be able to understand. Can I move ahead from here? A line is drawn through the point 1, 2 to meet the coordinate axis at P and Q. Okay. Such that it forms a triangle OPQ, where O is the origin. Okay. If the area of the triangle. So first of all, let's assume that the slope of the line is n. Can I say so? So with that, I think I can write the equation of the line, because equation of the line will be what? Y minus 2 upon x minus 1 is equals to m. Right. So if this line, let's say, passes through 1, 2. So this is the point 1, 2, let's say, for a while. I hope you're okay with that. This is the point, let's say, 1, 2. Now this line meets the coordinate axis at P and Q. So let's say this is P and this is Q. So if it meets the x-axis at P, its y coordinate will be 0 here. So if I substitute y by 0, I hope you're understanding, minus 2 by m will be equal to x minus 1. I hope you're understanding it. I'm replacing y by 0, so it is minus 2 by m is equal to x minus 1. If I push this 1 there, x is equal to what? Minus 2 by m plus 1. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I do commit any calculation based error, correct me if I'm wrong. So it should be m minus 2 upon m. So x will be m minus 2 upon m. Correct me if I'm wrong. M minus 2 upon m. So this point P will be m minus 2 upon m. Similarly, when I talk about this point Q, what about this point Q? At this point Q, x will be 0. So if I substitute x by 0, so it will be y minus 2 is equal to what? Minus m. Because 0 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 goes to the other side. So y becomes what? 2 minus m. So it is 2 minus m. Are you all listening and understanding this comfortably? Everybody with me on this? And there you have this O as the origin. The area of the triangle OPQ. So if I now wish to figure out the area of the triangle OPQ, this is how you will be having half base into height. Everybody listening and understanding this? So if I define the area of the triangle OPQ in terms of m, I'll be writing it as half base into height. So height will be mod of 2 minus m and base will be mod of m minus 2 by m. Base will be mod of m minus 2 by m. Give me a quick update on this. Have you all understood this? Everybody with me on this? Now one thing for sure we know here is this, that this result, that if I write it as 2 minus m or m minus 2 inside the mod, both are same. So m minus 2 I can write it as, and m minus 2 into m minus 2 is m minus 2 whole square. And if there is this, there it is getting squared, which means I did not use the modulus sign. So I can write this area as half of what? M minus 2 square divided by m. Now what are we asked? We are asked that the area of this triangle OPQ is least. So we need to minimize this. This is a function of m. So application of derivative is coming into picture. I hope you're understanding it. So if I now wish to minimize this, of course, there will be modem downwards. So now, if I wish to minimize it, how do I differentiate it? First of all, let's talk about that result. Now, there are two possibilities. Pay attention to this. M could be either positive or negative. So there are two ways. Either you split it in two fashions, in two manners, where you take M as positive and M as negative, or you simply differentiate mod M. I hope you know this. So if I now begin with this conclusion, I will be talking about this expression only, because the minimum of this will be minimum half of this. So I'll try to minimize this result. Everybody listening and understanding? So m minus 2 whole square upon mod of m, right? This gives me m minus 2 whole square upon mod of m, and this needs to be minimized. This is a function of m, let's say f of n. So what I'll first of all do is I'll find f dash n. I hope everybody is listening. So f dash m will be denominator squared. So mod m square is what? M square. I need not put a mod here. Everybody listening and understanding? From here, the next thing which I do is I differentiate the numerator, that is denominator as it is. So mod m times what? 2 times m minus 2, and the derivative of m minus 2, I hope your understanding is 1, minus I keep the numerator as it is, which is m minus 2 whole square, and then I differentiate the denominator. I am very poor in maths. I stand maths. Okay, no problem in that, Urban. No problem in that. You just keep going. That's more important. So sometimes intensity doesn't matter. It's consistency, the regular habit, the ability to keep doing it time and again, that matters. I hope you're getting it. Because slow and steady wins the race, right? So where were we? We were what? Numerator as it is, then differentiation to denominator. So the derivative of mod m, I hope you know, m upon mod m you can write it as, because it will be either plus 1 or minus 1, right? So it will be either plus 1 or minus 1, so I can write it as plus minus 1. I hope you're understanding. Or if you don't get it, I'll write it as m upon mod m. I can write it as m upon mod m. Everybody getting this particular result without any confusion. Can I move ahead from here? All the participants. Now, when you finally talk about this result, I think I can move this mod m here. So it will give me what? It will give me 2 times. Mod m square is what? M square times m minus 2 minus m minus 2 whole square times m, and then the denominator I'll have m square times mod m. Everybody getting this? If I now wish to simplify the numerator, what will I have? I can take m minus 2 common. So if I'm taking m minus 2 common, what will I have? When you take m minus 2 common, I'm left with 2m here. And what am I now left with here? m minus 2 taken common, so minus of m minus 2. So minus of m minus 2. Give me a second. It is, hold on for a while. It is what? 2m is there. I'll be left with 2m there, and here what have we taken common? m minus 2. So m minus 2 when taken common, I'll be left with m minus 2. But minus of m minus 2 will give me minus m plus 2. And in the denominator, we have m square times mod of m. Everybody with me on this? Any confusions on this data? Now here comes the simplest part. Let me check whether we are given some more data that it forms a triangle OPQ, whereas who's the origin? Because here, if the m is negative, it could have gone like this. And if it goes like this, then also you would have a triangle OPQ getting formed. In that case, slope will be, okay, good. Now, when I get back to this, I think when you talk about critical points, we know that m will not be 0. So if m cannot be 0, I'll be having this 2m minus m as what? M. So it is going to be m minus 2. M is already outside. And it is what? M plus 2. And this will be m square times mod m. So when I put it equal to 0, of course, we know that it is m upon mod m, which means m cannot be 0. So m could be either 2 or minus 2. So I'll be having m as either 2 or minus 2. Give me a quick update on this. Have you all understood this? So m will be either 2 or minus 2. On this value of m, I'll be having either maxima or minima. 2 is not given in the options. So I'll say minus 2 will be the answer. Are you all there, listening, watching, and understanding? I hope you're understanding. I'm not going with the second derivative test. That is not needed to be done. Let's say both 2 and minus 2 were given, then I might have tried thinking of doing this. Everybody with me on this? But anyways, it will give me the same minimum result at either 2 or minus 2. Now with this, let us try and solve this question based on application of derivatives. Great, good, perfect, brilliant. Here, a spherical balloon is filled with 4500 pi cubic meters of helium gas. Okay. If a leak in the balloon causes the gas to escape at the rate of 72 pi cubic meters, okay, perfect, per minute. So first of all, it is having this much helium gas initially. I hope you are listening and paying attention to this. Then you have a leak in the balloon, and because of which this is leaking at this, and there is a spherical balloon. I hope I need not tell you, for balloon it is 4 by 3 pi r cube, the volume. If the leak in the balloon causes a gas to escape, so gas is leaking, okay, meters per minute, cubic meters per minute, at which the rate at which the radius of the balloon decreases. Okay, let's talk about dv by dt first of all. So when you talk about dv by dt, I need not tell you 4 by 3. So this 3 and this 3 are cancelled. 4 pi r square times dr by dt. Everybody understood this particular equation. How did I create this? All the participants who are watching it online. Now, this is telling you that here, initially, the volume was this 4500 pi cubic meters, right? Leak causes this, that this is releasing at this. Then at which the rate at which the radius decreases after 49 minutes. First of all, please understand, if it is decreasing at a rate of 72 pi cubic per meters, then after 49 minutes, how much gas would have been leaked? Everyone understanding this? What am I trying to tell you? 72 pi minus into 49. This much gas must have been released after 49 minutes. I repeat, initially the leak is happening at this 72 pi cubic meters. I hope nothing wrong in that. The leak means what? The gas is leaking. That means what? dv by dt. Are you all understanding this? This is your dv by dt, but it is negative. I hope you are understanding it. I hope you are understanding it. But after what? After then at which the radius of the balloon decreases after 49 minutes. So first of all, please understand, after 49 minutes, how much gas has already leaked? So it is 72 into 49. 72 into 49. So I'll do it like this, 72 into 50 minus 1. I hope you're understanding it. So 50 into 72. 50 I can write as 100 by 2. I hope you're understanding this method. 100 by 2 minus 1. So 72 into 100 is what? 7200 by 2 is, I think, 3600. Correct me if I'm wrong. So this is 3600 minus 72. Did you all get this, or shall I repeat this part? Now 36. 100 minus 72 is, I think, 28. Correct me if I'm wrong. 28. So 28 means what? 2528. So here the leaked gas must have been 2528 cubic meters, right? So this will be the gas which must have been leaked by the time. By after how much time? After 49 minutes. First of all, give me a quick confirmation. Did you all understand this part, or shall I repeat this part? Everybody with me on this, all the participants. Now let us go back to the question. What are we asked? The rate at which the rate at which the radius of the balloon is decreasing. So we are asked dr by dt. Everybody understanding this? So dv by dt we already know is 72 pi cubic meter. Radius is what I need to find out, but there I need to have dr by dt, right? How do I have it? Give me a second, students. Am I missing something? Are we missing anything? The spherical balloon is filled with 4,500 pi cubic meters, right? 4,500 pi cubic meters means what? Initially it is this. So from this, if I figure out how much gas am I left with at this moment, I'll be saying 4,500, a lot of calculation is there, minus 2528. Everybody listening and understanding this, I repeat this part, because initially this was the gas, and if at this rate in 49 minutes, if this much gas is leaked, you will be left with 4,500 minus 2528. How much would that be? How much would that be? If I subtract 2,500 from 4,500, what would that be? 4,500 minus 2,500, I think 2,000. 2,000 minus 28. 2,000 minus 28 is how much? I think again 72. Correct me if I'm wrong. 2,000 minus 28, right, should be 72. So it should be 1972. Right. Everybody with me on this, all the participants. Good, Arpan. I hope everybody with me on this. So I think when you talk about the rate of change here, give me a 10 minutes break, students. I am not feeling well. Let me have some water, ORS. and then we'll resume in 15 minutes. We need a break right now because it has been stretched. We had 2 lives. So we'll be resuming 143 in 15 minutes possibly, but let me have a break because now it is taking a lot of outers. So we'll be resuming in 15 minutes. Right now it is what? It's 8:30, 8:45, right? Let me have a break. I hope that's okay. If we resume in 15 minutes, that's fine. Give me a 15 minutes break, okay? बढ़िया राहुल, ORS है क्या ऊपर? कोई है?
आप ना अभी तो नीचे से जाओगे तो कोई दिक्कत होगी, रोहित ऊपर है।
ठीक है, प्रांशु किसी से बुलवा लेना ना यार एक ORS।
मैं बोल दे रहा हूँ।
किसकी? हाँ ठीक, किसी को बोल देना 2 ORS के पैकेट भेज देना नीचे। Hello, students. Just give me a quick response. I hope I'm clearly audible. I'm just not feeling well today, but let us finish this session because we have started it. So let us resume with our discussion. I'm also not very much focused because of the. Okay, let us resume with this. Where are we? I think we were on this particular question. Right, so what was there? 4 by 3 pi r cube, okay, 72 into 49, how much will that be? 72 into 100 by 2 minus 1, 59 minus 1, 72 into what? Why am I saying it as 2, 5 into 8? Okay, let me do this whole again because I think there is some calculation error. I'll get back to this, okay? Hold on for a while. So here we are resuming with this part. Let me just do it again. Balloon is filled with 4500 pi cubic meters, okay. Leak is there, and because of the leak 72 pi cubic per meter are getting released, and after 49 minutes. So first of all, let me say that initially it is 4500. After 49 minutes it will be 72 into 49 will be leaked. I hope you are understanding basic principle of counting I'm using. All the participants are here watching and understanding. Now here, if I quickly do this, I hope you can do it. I'll just save some time here because it is the marathon. I think I made a mistake here, 72 into what? 49, right? So it should be 72 into 49, that should be 3528. I think I wrote it 2528, right? I don't know why. So it is 3528. Now this much will be leaked. Sorry, this is leaked. So how much am I left with? I'll be left with 4500 pi minus 3528 pi. Everybody listening and understanding this? So 3528 pi minus what? 4500. That is 972 pi. So this leaves you with 972 pi. That much volume will be left when I am seeing its radius. Everybody listening and understanding this? Now from this moment, what I say is that here, okay, so I am at this stage. We know the volume is given by 4 by 3 pi r cube. Can you help me? Can you help me with the radius when you are having this much volume left? So volume is 972 pi, right? And it is pi by 3 r cube. Sorry, 4 by 3 pi r cube. What am I writing today? 4 by 3 pi r cube. So it should be 4 by 3. What is pi? Pi is pi. R cube. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are we going great? Now 972 into 3. 972 into 3 by 4. How much is that? Let me just do that calculation very quickly so that we get the answer. 972 into 3 whole divided by 4. That is 729. So we get r cube as 729. So we know r should be what? 9, because 9 cube is 729. I hope you all know that. So first of all, we crack that here radius at that moment will be 9. Radius at that moment will be 9. But we are not asked the radius. We are asked the radius, the rate at which the radius is decreasing. Okay. So for this we know that here dv by dt is going to be what? 4 by 3 pi r square. This is 3 pi r square dr by dt. Give me a quick confirmation. Did you all get that? 4 by 3 pi r square dr by dt. Everybody with me on this? All the participants who are watching it right now. Now dv by dt, the change in volume, right? So the change in volume is this because it is decreasing at 72 pi cubic meters. So dv by dt should be this, and both should be negative. The volume is decreasing, the rate is decreasing, so negative will be positive. So I'm not writing that negative sign. So it is 72 pi, right, should be equal to this 3 and this 3 are cancelled. So this leaves you with 4 pi. R is 9, so we have already cracked R, which is 9. So 9 into 9, you can take it as like this, and dr by dt is what we are trying to work out. So I think by calculating this, you can figure out the final answer. I'm not solving it further. Everyone comfortable with this? Now from here, A and B both belong to R such that the function is given by this has extreme values at -1 and 2. So if it has extreme values at -1 and 2, its derivative at -1 and 2 will be 0. So its derivative means what? F dash x. So if I now find f dash x, ln mod of x is 1 upon x plus 2bx plus a, right? And I now will say that f of minus 1 and f of 2 will be 0. So first of all, let's talk about f of minus 1. F of minus 1 is what? Minus 1. I hope you are understanding. Minus 2bx plus a. This should be 0. And the second result is f of 2 will be 0. F of 2 means what? 1 by 2 plus 2 into 2, that is 4b. This should not be minus 2bx. Where am I today? Where is my mind? Minus 2bx means what? Minus 2b plus a. So this should also be 0. So I think by calculating these two equations, there are two variables in a and b. I can figure out the values of a and b. So when I figure out the values of a and b, I will be in a position to talk about statement 1 and statement 2. Let me just quickly check it with statement 2, 1 by 2 and minus 1 by 4. So if I replace a by 1 by 2, minus 1, b by minus 1 by 4, so plus 2 by 4, that is 1 by 2, and this is plus 1 by 2. So this is 0. What about this? I think it should also be 0, because if it is 1 by 2, b is minus 1 by 4, this is 1 by 2. So a and b are good, great. So I think we have checked it. Statement 2 is correct. Statement 2 is absolutely correct. Now we are told f has local maximum at minus 1. I think there's some typing error, because it cannot have both, because I need f double dash x. Now we know a and b. Let me write f double dash x. There is some correction, I think. Let me see the correct option. 2. Statement 1 is 2, statement 2 is correct. Okay, so there is some correction here in this statement. Typing error it is basically. So let me find f double dash x. F double dash x will be what? 1 upon x, it is x to the power minus 1. Sir, you are a phenomenal teacher. We have, how many questions are left? Akanksha is asking. I think we are left with a lot of questions. 144 and then 168. 144, 168, how much is that? You can see 144, 6, 150 plus 10, 160. I think I'm left with 30 more questions. So it will take around 2 hours. If you're I think in that case, if you're asking for 2027 aspirants, we have already launched batches. For 11th, it is Arjuna. For 12th, it is Laksh. For droppers, it is Prayas in pure JEE English. JEE for in pure English. Now here, if I get back to this, f double dash x is what we are finding. So f double dash x is going to be what? Minus 1 upon x square, minus 1 upon x square plus 2b, plus 2b. So plus 2b, but what is b? b we have worked out as minus 1 by 4. So 2 by minus 4 is what? Minus 1 by 2. I'll write it as minus 1 by 2. So here, if I check it at minus 1, so this will be again negative. So at minus 1, I repeat, f double dash minus 1 will be negative, and I think f double dash 2, because I need to check it 2 as well. So 2 square is 4, minus 1 by 4, both are negative. So if both are negative, I think there will be maximum. So local maxima will be at minus 1 and 2 both. So statement 1 is also correct. There is no typing error here. Both are correct, and statement 2 is correct explanation for statement 1. The real number k for which this equation has two distinct real roots in 0 to 1. I'll say, can I write it as 2x cube plus 3x is equal to minus k. Now let us solve this part and this part. F of x is equals to g of x, right? So if I call this function as f of x, I'm calling f of x as 2x cube plus 3x. If I now differentiate it, so f dash x is going to be 6x square plus 3. Now I'll say 6x square plus 3 is always positive. It is a strictly increasing function. So I'll say f of x, because this is always positive. So f of x is a strictly increasing function. So if f of x is a strictly increasing function and g of x is k, what is g of x? G of x is minus k. So this is a constant function. So if a strictly increasing function and a constant function intersect, they'll be intersecting at only one point. But it is saying it has two distinct real roots, which is not possible. So any value of k does not exist. Everybody understood option D. Now from here, let us move towards the next question. The intercepts on x-axis made by tangent to this curve. Tangent to this curve, can I figure out the slope of the tangent by differentiating it? So if I find y dash, I'll be using Newton-Lemley's rule. I hope you remember differentiation. So I'll be saying x should be passed here. So it will be mod of x, derivative of x will be 1 minus 0 should be passed there, that is 0. Mod of 0 is 0. So here y dash will be mod of x, which means what is y dash? Y dash here y dash is your slope of the tangent. But we are told that it is parallel to y is equals to 2x. So slope of this line is 2. So here slope of the tangent is mod x. Here slope of tangent is 2. So mod x is equal to 2. X should be plus minus 2. Option B needs to be marked. Am I correct? I think there is some, yes. Why is it plus minus? It should be plus minus 2, right? I think there is some typing error, otherwise it is plus minus 2. Now let's look at this question. How do we solve this one? I'll simply say, to solve this, let's work out this. Integration of x to the power 5 can I write as x cube, x square, f of x cube dx. Now if I take x cube as t, 3x square dx will be dt. So with that coming into picture, I think I have cracked this question with this simple decent information that here x square dx will be dt by 3. So 1 by 3 dt. X cube is t. So this is t ft dt. First of all, give me a quick confirmation. Did you all understand this particular part? Can I move ahead from here? Now when I solve this particular part, what do I get? 1 by 3 stays outside. Can I use isolate? We know integration of f of x is psi x, right? So I'll take it as first function, this as second function. I hope you're understanding it. Everybody with me on this? So here, what I'll do here is that 1 by 3 is that as it is, then pay attention to this part, everyone. First function as it is, that is t times integration of second function. So integration of f of t. Integration of f of t will be phi t. I hope you are understanding this without any confusion. Minus integration of derivative of first. So derivative of t will be 1. Again integration of f of t. Integration of f of t will be phi t. So this will be phi t dt. Everybody give me a quick confirmation. Now if I match these values with one of the options, all you need to understand is t is again substituted by x cube. So it should be 1 by 3 x cube psi x cube minus again dt is what? Dt is 3x square dx. So dt only bracket will not be, bracket should have been till here only. I'll make that correction, or I'll write final answer, which I think will not match with this. I'll write it here. 1 by 3 is like that, 1 by 3 only, times t is there, so t is getting replaced by x cube. Psi t means what? Psi t means psi x cube, so that is psi x cube minus, there you have integration of psi t. What is psi t? Psi x cube, so that is psi x cube. But again, there I'll be writing or replacing this dt by 3x square dx. So this is 3 into x square dx. So that should be your final answer. It should match with one of the options. And I think it is matching with option 3. I'm really sorry, it's not option A, it's option 3, because this 3 and this 3 are getting cancelled and you're left with this as the final answer. Everybody got this? Now let us work out this result. There I was mentioning about this, that every time you see e to the power x into f of x plus f dash x, there you write answer as e to the power x f of x. But how do you deal with this expression? Again, a very, very, very good question. This is a better version of that. How do we solve this? Pay attention to this. If I push this inside with 1 and with this, so I'll be having integration of e to the power x plus 1 by x, pay attention to this, into 1 plus x minus 1 by x, x minus 1 by x into e to the power x plus 1 by x. Pay attention to this. I am going to tell you something very interesting here. Before I could tell you very interesting, I hope no confusion on this particular part. I hope everybody is with me. Now please pay attention. If I take x common from here, I'll be left with 1 minus 1 by x square. I'll be left with 1 minus 1 by x square. Sir, why did you do it? Now pay attention to this. I'm telling you a very important part here. Please pay attention to that here. Whenever you see this kind of an expression, I'll try and tell you this. Integration of e to the power, let's say g of x, times e to the power g of x times fx into g dash x plus f dash x. Please pay attention to this part. I'm giving a direct formula, although you can work it out by yourself, but I'm giving you the direct formula which you should use and save a lot of time directly. I repeat, e to the power g of x. So instead of e to the power x, you are given e to the power g of x, which is what? X plus 1 by x into fx. That f of x is x here. G dash x is 1 minus 1 by x square, because I hope you are paying attention. X plus 1 by x, when differentiated, gives you 1 minus 1 by x square. In that case, the answer is always e to the power gx times whole of f of x. Are you listening and understanding? That's your final answer. So here, I hope you can see, this is e to the power g of x times f dash x plus f of x into g dash x. So my answer will be e to the power gx, which is e to the power x plus 1 by x times f of x. What is f of x? That's x plus c. I hope I can clearly see one of the correct options and go ahead with this. I think option D should be the correct answer here. Let's look at this question. How do we solve this one? Everybody watching, listening and understanding. What I'll do here is x to the power 4 I'll be taking common. So technically x cube will come out from this particular part. I hope you are understanding this. So this looks like integration of, when x to the power 4 is taken common, x cube comes outside, because x to the power 4 by 1 by to the power 1 by 4 is x, but cube, so x cube into x square is x to the power 5. And inside this, you are left with 1 by 1 plus 1 by x to the power 4. I'm really sorry, x to the power 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. To the power 3 by 4 dx. Give me a quick update. Everybody understood this? Everybody, all the participants. Now from here, what I do next is, if I take 1 plus 1 by x to the power 4, let's say as t, I hope you can see, minus 1 by x to the power 5 dx will be dt, which means dx by x to the power 5 will be negative of dt. So my question now becomes minus of dt divided by what? T to the power minus 3 by 4. If I take this t in the numerator, so it will be t to the power minus 3 by 4 dt. From here, I think it is clearly easy and doable if you want to crack it. How will you do it? I hope t to the power minus n plus 1 upon minus n plus 1. So minus 3 by 4 plus 1 is 1 by 4. So it will be minus of t to the power 1 by 4 upon 1 by 4. So that 4 comes to the front plus c, and 4 now, sorry, t you substitute by this. So it should be minus of 4 times whole of 1 plus 1 by x to the power 4 whole raised to the power 1 by 4 plus c. Everybody understood this? You simplify this and match it with one of the options, you get your final answer. I hope we are doing it correctly. We are doing it great. Why am I writing a 4 here? Should there be a 4? I think there should be a 4, but they are not giving any 4 there. Let me check it once again. There should have been 4, right? Do write it in the comment box, because according to me there should be a 4. Why 4? Because we have taken x to the power 4 common. So x cube comes out technically, it makes it x to the power 5. So that is x to the power t to the power minus 3 by 4. T to the power minus 3 by 4 integrated gives you t to the power 1 by 4. By 1 by 4, 4 comes to the numerator. Minus is already there, so minus 4 will be there, right? Minus 4 should have been there. Just write it in the comment box. Do you also not think so? Because t to the power 1 by 4, t was 1 plus 1 x to the power 4, 1 by 4 plus c. I think minus 4 is the typing error, because minus 4 should have been there. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I am not absolutely focused today, but still, even if I am 10% of my, if I'm devoting 10% of my focus, that minus 4 should be there, right? Can we move ahead from here? Now, when we go ahead with the next question, here the best thing which we can do is we can divide both the sides, numerator and denominator, by x to the power 15. Technically, I'm taking x to the power 5 common from the denominator. So when you do that, what happens here is x to the power 5, I'm taking common from the denominator. So x to the power 5 to the power 3, that is x to the power 15. 5 into 3 is 15 coming out. So I'm dividing the numerator and denominator by x to the power 15 technically. So in the numerator, it will be 2. X to the power 12 by x to the power 15 is what? That is 3. And this is 5. 15 and 9 is what? 6. So it is x to the power 6. Correct me if I'm wrong. Divided by, in the denominator you have x to the power 5, you have taken common 1. And there it is 1 by what? X square. And here it is 1 by x to the power 5. Correct me if I'm wrong. Everybody got this? Everybody understood this? Dx. I think the right substitution is needed to be made and you have gotten the answer, because 1 plus 1 by x square plus 1 by x to the power 5, if it is taken as t, you will be seeing it as minus 2 by x cube, minus 2 by x cube, and minus 5 by x to the power 6 dx becoming dt. So I think we have the right substitution, because this dx will be minus dt. So it will be minus dt. Minus dt means what? Minus I'll put outside dt, and there it is. There it is t. So t cube it should be, but in the numerator it should be t to the power minus 3 dt. And I hope you know how to integrate it. Everybody getting this? All the participants. So it should be t to the power minus 2 by minus 2. Minus 2 is nullified. So it should be t to the power minus 2 by 2, because this minus and that minus are cancelled. And with this, when you substitute this t by this, I think you get the final answer. Will you do that by yourself, that substitution and simplification? Now let's look at this part. This question was asked by CBSE as well, because I did discuss CBSE board paper as well, so we did solve this question there as well. Highest power taking common in these types of format, just like limit n. Perfect, Yaksh. That's exactly what we do. Brilliant suggestion. Good. All these students, take a note of it. So here the best suggestion is that I will write 2 sine 2x as 2 sine x cos x. So this becomes integration dx divided by cos cube x is already there. So I'll keep that cos cube x as it is. Now this, when I write as root 2, see, sine 2x is 2 sine x cos x. So that 2 in this 2 is 1 by 4 inside, under root will make it 1 by 2 outside. So there I'm left with root sine x root cos x. So I'll write it as root sine x into root cos x. Everybody comfortable with this? I hope no confusion on that. Now one thing I do from here is that I multiply and divide it by root cos x in the denominator. So I'm dividing it by root cos x here. And if I multiply it by root cos x, so it becomes cos x. Cos x into cos cube x is cos x to the power 4. Is cos x to the power 4. This cos x to the power 4 I take to the numerator. So this becomes what? Sec x to the power 4. Right? And here in the denominator it becomes root over 10x. Everybody comfortably understanding it? Sec x to the power 4, if I could split into two parts, it will be sec square x into sec square x dx. And this sec square x I'll be writing as 1 plus 10 square x. Everybody understanding this comfortably, or shall I re-explain this whole operation? And I think you now already know what is needed to be done. What is needed to be done here? 10x if you take as t, 10x if you take as t, we all know sec square x dx will be dt. So it should be 1 by 2 times integration of 1 plus t square divided by root t times dt. And I hope I need not tell you the solution further, because here it will be 1 by root t. That is, we can divide by cos square x here. When you do that cos square, I think yes, possibly that will, yes, it will create that only, possibly. I haven't checked it, but yes, my intuition says possibly yes. That is same operation actually, technically. So 1 by root t means what? T to the power minus 1 by 2, and t square by root t is what? T to the power 3 by 2, because 2 minus 1 by 2 is 3 by 2 dt. From here, can you not do it by yourself? From here, can you not do it by yourself? What I'm saying here is that here, you know integration of this, you know integration of this. And then you substitute finally t by 10x, and there you get this a, this b, and this c, because a will be a power of this, I think b will be power of this, with that coefficient coming into picture, and I think you'll get the final answer. Can you do that by yourself? Or if you want, I'll do it half of what? T to the power minus 1 by 2 plus 1, that is t to the power 1 by 2, so that is root t, divided by what? 1 by 2, that is 2, plus t to the power 3 by 2 plus 1, that is I think t to the power 5 by 2. So it should be t to the power 5 by 2 divided by 5 by 2, which means what? 2 by 5. So this is 2 by 5 plus c, of course, that is your k. So I think now you know t is what? Root 10x. So 2 and 2 are cancelled. So it is root 10x, that is 10x to the power 1 by 2. Right, correct me if I'm wrong. Plus this 2 and this 2 are cancelled, so I'm left with 1 by 5. T to the power 5 by 2 means what? 10x to the power 5 by 2 plus the constant of integration is k. So I think this is a, this is c, this is b, and you can find out a plus b plus c by yourself. Will that be difficult from here? Everybody got this? Now let's solve the next question. Basic, straightforward, decent and simple question based on King's property. If I call this I minus pi to pi, what is wrong with this? Cos square x upon 1 plus a to the power x dx. So I'll say minus pi plus pi minus x. That is 0 minus x. So I can substitute this by minus x. Yes. Great, great. That's good, Yaksh. So I, as per King's property, will be again minus pi to pi. But if I substitute x by minus x here, it will still be cos square x because cos x is already even function and it is squared. This will still remain cos square x. But it will be 1 plus a to the power minus x. That will be 1 by a to the power x. A to the power x plus 1 upon a to the power x. So it will become 1 plus a to the power x whole times a to the power x in the numerator. So if I add both of these, I plus I will be left with 2i. Minus pi to pi, both are limits same. So denominators are same, which means LCM is same, which means in the numerator a to the power x cos square x cos square x. So cos square x is taken common. You are left with 1 plus a to the power x. And here also 1 plus a to the power x dx. I think this and this are nullified. Now what do? I think the job is done because cos square x can now be written as what? You know, you cannot integrate it, but here cos square x we all know. I hope you remember it. I need not tell you again that 1 minus cos 2 theta is what? Sorry, 1 plus cos 2 theta is 2 cos square theta. So that logic I'll be using here. So 2i is equal to minus pi to pi. Since we know it is an even function, so I could write it as 2 times 0 to pi. Everybody listening and understanding this. And cos square x I'll be writing as 1 plus cos 2x upon 2. 1 plus cos 2x upon 2. Everybody give me a quick confirmation. Are you all there listening and understanding this? I hope there is no confusion on that. From here, I think you can do it by yourself. Why? Because I think the question is absolutely doable. This 2 and this 2 are cancelled. So shall I write it here only? You get as 1 by 2 times. Can I integrate it now? 0 to pi, right? That I'll put later. 1 when integrated gives you x. Cos 2x, I hope you know. Sine is cos in differentiation. So cos should be sine. So it should be plus sine 2x only, with only change here is that it should be divided by 2. And there you got to put the limits 0 and pi. I hope you can see that 0 will make this whole operation 0. So when you put pi, you get the final answer. Will you do it by yourself? I hope it is absolutely doable. From there, when I move ahead with the next question, what do we see? This one. So this is a differentiable function. F2 is given as 6, f dash 2 is given as this. Then we are asked the value of this expression. If I now look at this part, first of all, please pay attention to this. This x minus 2 has nothing to do with this expression because it is a constant, because this is getting integrated with respect to t. So this x minus 2 is behaving as a constant here. I am at physics wala Sarfaraz. I am teaching at physics wala. So here this x minus 2 should be common. So here in the numerator I'll be having limit x approaches to 6 to f of x. This is 4t cube dt whole divided by x minus 2. Although of course this limit is common to both of them. So this is the limit x approaches to. Now the only thing which you all should pay attention to is that here when x approaches 2, what happens is x minus 2, that is 2 minus 2, 0. F of 2 is 6. So 6 to 6, if the upper limit and lower limit are same, it is also 0. So 0 by 0 form. And with 0 by 0 form, we can use L'Hopital. I hope that's good. You didn't Leibniz. Perfect. Yes, Sarfaraz, it was me. Thank you so much for recognizing me. So if it is 0 by 0 form, I'll use L'Hopital. L'Hopital means differentiate this. Differentiation of definite integration. So pass the upper limit. So it should be 4 cube of f of x, because t should be replaced by f of x, and then differentiate the upper limit, that is f dash x minus 4 into 6 cube into derivative of 6. Derivative of 6 is 0. So 0 into anything is 0. Divided by derivative of x minus 2. L'Hopital, derivative of numerator upon derivative of denominator. So x minus 2's derivative will be 1. And there limit x is approaching 2 is what we are given. So I think we have the answer 4 into cube of f of 2. Cube of f of 2 into f dash 2 divided by 1, that I need not write. So with that I think we have the answer. Can you not do it by yourself? 4 times f of 2, what is f of 2? That is 6. So this should be 6 cube, and this is f dash 2, which is 1 by 48. Can you do that calculation by yourself? Okay, that's great, Kala Kaddu. If you could recognize this. Brilliant. Perfect. Now, with this, let us move towards the next question. The easiest question of your entire session. Again, King's property will be applied, and if you could crack it, the question is done. 10 seconds question it is. If you could notice it, you can do it within seconds. 3 to 6 root x upon root 9 minus x plus root x. If I now apply King's 6 plus 3, 9, so x can be replaced by 9 minus x. So I will become 3 to 6, x I'm substituting by 9 minus x. So 9 minus x will become x, and this will become root 9 minus x. And if I add both of these, I plus I will be 2i. I plus I will be 2i. Limits is same, 3 to 6. Denominators are same, LCM is same. So numerator and denominator become same, so that is dx. So my answer is I is equal to 1 by 2. Integration will be x. Yes, yes, not even a board level question. So 6 minus 3 is what? 3. So I hope you could crack it. The answer is 3 by 2. You could do it within seconds, asked by JEE Mains. JEE Mains does ask you easy, simple, moderate, all category of questions, and this is exactly what we are doing here. So this question, limit as a sum. So first of all, if I could try and write it as, it will be limit n approaches infinity, 1 by n square, 1 by n square, 1 by n square, I can take 1 by n common. So when I have taken 1 by n common, I am writing it as summation. 1 by n, 2 by n, 3 by n, and so on. So I am writing it as r by n. I hope you all are listening and understanding. Summation of r by n into sec square. Now this sec square comes with something more interesting. What is that? Please pay attention to this. This comes with 1 by n square, then 4 by n square. So this is 1 by n whole square, 2 by n whole square. So this is r by n whole square. Pay attention to this. And there r started with 1, but it reached till n because this is 1 by n square. So it should have been, I hope you're understanding, it should have been what? If it is the nth term, it should have been n square by, I hope you are understanding, n square by n cube. But 1 by, sorry, this part I'm talking about. It should have been n square by n square. So n square by n square is 1. So that's why r is starting from 1 and reaching till n. First of all, it is said to be removed, but they ask you yaksh. So let us study it. Don't neglect or deny the importance of it. They'll ask it directly or indirectly. So if I now use it, I will use this part as integration. Then I'll have dx. There I have what? R by n as x. That is sec square x square. And I think you know how to integrate this. And limits are going to be from 0 to 1. First of all, I'll do a substitution. That is, I'll substitute x square by t. So there 2x dx will be dt. So x dx will be dt by 2. So the question now becomes 1 by 2. Dx becomes dt. Now x dx is your dt by 2, of course. The limits are going to be x square is t. So the limits are still going to be 0 to 1. And this is now sec square t. This is now sec square t. So sec square t is 10t. So 10t by 2 from 0 to 1. So 10 1 by 2. And I think 10 0, that is 0. No, there is no GIF. How can you call it GIF yaksh? Unless it is not mentioned that it represents GIF, you don't take it as GIF. If it is a parenthesis, it's simply a parenthesis. Don't treat it as a GIF. Don't. Please don't. Everybody got this? Now from here, when I go ahead or move towards the next question, this is a basic question based on if you have the basic understanding, you can crack it within seconds. Now, how do we solve this particular one? Pay attention to this. Can you help me with x square and x cube when x is from 0 to 1? So we know when x is from 0 to 1, the higher the power, the lesser the number. We know that. And we know 2 to the power x is an increasing function. So if x cube is smaller and x square is greater, so 2 to the power x square will be greater than 2 to the power x cube for all the values of x which is between 0 to 1. Which means this curve will be greater curve, this curve will be a lower curve. And if I apply the same limit, which is if I integrate this 2 to the power x square with 0 to 1, and if I integrate this 2 to the power x cube from 0 to 1, I hope you all must be realizing very clearly that, sir, here, this is greater, this is lower, which means, first of all, I could say that I1 is greater than I2. Are we given anywhere I1 greater than I2? I think option B. Sir, if we are asked relationship between I3 and I4, can you help me with that? Now when I3 and R4, the limits are 1 to 2. So if the limits are 1 to 2, yes. I hope this is simple and easy. Because if this is an inequality, we know lower curve and upper curve. So area bounded under the upper curve will be greater than area bounded by lower curve. That basic identity I'm using here, inequality I'm using here. The same logic we could be using here as well, that when we say that x square and x cube between 1 to 2, the same logic I'll be using. We know here x square will be less than x cube because now x is from 1 to 2. I think with that you can clearly see that I3 will be less than I4, but I think we are given incorrect options, option C and D. Option A is anyway incorrect because option D is correct. With that, let's solve the next question. The area bounded by the curves cos x, sin x and 0 to 3 pi by 2. I think it's basic question, simple question, deliberately kept just to make you understand the curvature. So 0 to 3 pi by 2, right? So first let me draw the graph of sin x. Let's say this is how the graph of sin x looks like. Great, perfect, brilliant, that's good. So from here, what I'm trying to tell you is that here, give me a moment, this will be 1, this will be pi by 2, this is of course 0, there you have minus 1, and that is pi, and this point here is 3 pi by 2. So when I try to draw the graph of cos x, this, then possibly this, and then this, these dots are to be connected. Correct me if I'm wrong. So this is how the graph of cos x will go like. Now we are asked the area bounded by sin x and cos x between 0 and 3 pi by 2. So I'll say if somebody is asking you the area bounded by sin x and cos x, right, the area bounded by sin x and cos x. So I think they are asking you the area bounded by sin x and cos x. So this is your cos x. First of all, let me draw it. This is your cos x. Everybody listening and understanding, everybody, all the participants. Now here if I ask you area bounded by sin x and cos x, so this would be one of the regions, then this is your region, and then this could also be the region. Correct me if I'm wrong. Area bounded by, bounded means what? I think between 0 and pi by 2, so that's your 0. So why should it not be taken? Hold on for a while, students. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because this region anyway is going to be there, this region will be there. But I think if they are asking me about being bounded, of course this point I hope I need not tell you will of course be pi by 4. This will be pi plus pi by 4, that is 5 pi by 4. Right, so between sin x and cos x, the bounded curve. So I think, are we going great? Correct me if I'm wrong, sir. Area bounded by curve, can you interchange x and y? It will give us the same area. Regarding what, Yaksh? I'm not getting your point. Area, it will give the same area? No. Be more specific. Try to be more specific, whatever you're asking. I think here, all you need to do is, I think both should be included because 3 pi by 2, we are told, are we told x-axis? I think we are not told the x-axis, right? So I think I should stop. See. Okay, give me a moment. I did not draw a line here. So we are not given x-axis. So our area bounded by these curves, I'm really sorry. This curve, this region and this region will also be the answer. I hope we are not including this region and this region because that is there with x-axis. That is not what we need to include. Area between the sin x and cos x. But sometimes cos x is having the upper hand, sin x is the lower function. Yes, Yaksh, you can. But be more precise and correct with that. And then from pi by 4 to 5 pi by 4, this is sin x which is having the upper hand. And then from pi by 4, 5 pi by 4 to 3 pi by 2, it is again cos x. So how will you do it? First of all, you will say, sir, 0 to pi by 4, which is the upper curve, I think cos x. So you will write it as cos x minus sin x, right? Dx plus. I hope everybody is realizing that, sir, whatever area I get here, that same area I will get here. Are you understanding my word? Whatever area you get here, upper curve minus lower curve, the same area you'll get here. Or if you don't believe me, you do it properly. I'm saying that double of this can be done. So this part need not be integrated again. That's what I'm saying. And this part is what we'll do, which is what? From pi by 4 to 5 pi by 4. The upper curve is your sin x and the lower curve is cos x dx. I hope from here you can do it. It's basically option 4 and 2 both correct. Yes, I'm really sorry for that. So I'm really sorry for that. Let's use All are 4 root 2 plus 2. So I think this option is not given, let's say. So option 2 will be correct. I hope you will do it from here. Basic integration is needed to be done. Cos x is sin x is minus cos x. And with that, you put the limits and you get the answer. I'm saying that this needs to be doubled. Instead of, again, 5 pi by 4 to 3 pi by 2 you simply do this. Everybody got this? Can I move ahead from here? Then we solve the next one. Area of the region enclosed by y is equals to x, y is equals to e, y is equals to 1 by x. So let's draw all of these for positive x-axis. So if I talk about y is equals to 1 by x, this is how you see the graph of 1 by x being drawn. Everybody with me on this? Y is equals to x means what? A straight line passing through origin. So I think this is how you will be having this line. And x is equal to e. Now we need to decide where will you have x is equal to e. Right, x is equal to e. So this point, let me work out first of all. I think it should be 1 comma 1 because x is equal to 1 by x, x square is 1. So this could be 1 comma 1. So if this is 1 comma 1, e is what? 2 point something. So x is equal to e, right? A line parallel to y-axis. So it should be ahead of this. So a line ahead of this means what? Somewhere here. So this, let's say, is x is equal to e. So they are asking you the area of the region enclosed by the curves, y is equals to x, this line, then 1 by x and x is equals to e. Okay. So I think this is what they are interested in. Everybody with me on this? First of all, when somebody is asking you this, how to solve this if e to the power pi greater or pi to the power e greater, I think you know that something very easy, e to the power pi or pi to the power e. Always remember for any values greater than 2 and 3. Yaksh, shall I tell you this in a great detailed format? I did discuss it in binomial theorem. I did discuss it in a detailed format in binomial theorem. A complete crystal clear structure I have given with proof. Can you watch that one shot? Even after watching that one shot, if you don't get this, I'll re-clarify this. Today, I am really running low on energy. I'm terribly low on energy. Health-wise, I'm not feeling well. Can I skip that discussion? I'm just trying to finish all these questions ASAP. You watch that. And if you don't get it, I'll definitely explain that in any of the lives. Okay? But not today at least. Here, I'll give you the proper proof, proper discussion, everything that how do you decide it. If I now get back to this discussion, all I was saying was that here, if I now say that here, you could call it a triangle with, the base is 1, the height is also 1. So this triangle's area half base into height. So half 1 into 1 is half. Everybody with me on this? Now let's work out this area. So I hope this is also something easy because this will be integration from 1 to e. This is 1, this is e. So 1 to e, curve is 1 by x. I hope you know ln mod of x. So 1 by x when integrated, ln mod of x, ln e minus ln 1. And you know what is the answer? So 3 by 2 should be the answer. Everybody got this? The area between the parabolas x square is equals to y by 4, x square is equals to 9y. I hope you can see both are upward facing parabola having vertices at 0, 0. Everybody getting this? But the only challenge which you all need to understand is that which one will be which one. One of them will be the expanded one of them will be the shrinked one. Can you help me with the expand? I hope they'll be absolutely symmetrical. They'll be absolutely symmetrical. And what are we asked? The area between these parabola and a straight line y is equals to 2. So there is a straight line y is equals to 2. I repeat my part very clearly. Let's say if I replace if I replace y by 2 only, then only you will get the complete clarity. Or let's say if I replace, see, here what do we get y as? So y is 4x square. And here we have y as x square by 9. Basic idea I'm trying to give you. I hope you can see this. Y is equals to 4x square and y is equals to x square by 9. So if I substitute x by 1, this will be 4 and this will be 1 by 9. So let's say this is 1. So 4 will be greater, 1 by 9 will be lesser. So I hope you're understanding this curve is going to be x square by 9. I hope you're understanding. And this curve here will be 4x square. Give me a quick confirmation. Did you all get that? Any confusions on that? Whatever I've done so far. Now when somebody says area bounded by these two curves, which means this region's area plus this region's area, and they'll be absolutely symmetrical. So instead of taking a stripe like this, can I not take a horizontal stripe like this? upper curve minus lower curve, but in terms of y I'm writing. I hope you're understanding it. So upper curve will be this, lower curve will be this. So up, and I hope the limits are also very well understood, 0 to 2, because in terms of y I'm writing it. So 0 to 2 dy I'm doing, upper curve minus lower curve. What is the upper curve? Upper curve, as you all can see, is your this. So if in terms of y I'm writing it, it is 3 root y. Everybody understood that? The arm, this arm I'm taking. And for this, it should be what? Y by 2. I hope you're understanding it. Root y by 2. So from here, shall I tell you how to integrate it? Do you not know how to do it? I hope this is simple and easy. What you'll do is, you will integrate it from 0 to 2. 3 minus 1 by 2, that is how much? 3 minus 1 by 2 is 5 by 2. So 5 by 2 comes out, and you're left with y to the power 1 by 2 dy. And one more correction you do is that you double it. Why do we double it? Because sir, this region's area is what you're evaluating, the same region will be here. So this when doubled, 5 by 2 is left with 5 only, because this 2 and this 2 are eliminated. This will be, I hope you know how to integrate it, put the limits and get the final answer. Will you do that by yourself? Can I move ahead from here? Everybody understood this? Now this question, can I take a 10 minutes break? I need some water, ORS. So just give me a 10 minutes break. It is 9:30. We'll resume at 9:40. Will that be okay? Let's take a 10 minutes break. I hope it's fine.
अगर आप फ्री हो जाओ तो कोई तुम्हारे लिए
Students, just give me a quick update. Am I clearly visible and audible? At least audible I am. I hope I'm clearly audible. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Okay, great. So going ahead with the discussion. I hope you can see this right there in front of your screen. By the way, do you know what day it is today? It is 14th of March. It is 14th of March. This day, 14th of March, is also known as Pi Day. I just saw this. Yes, today is Pi Day. Okay, so let us get back to the discussion we all were having. I hope we can solve this question. Most of you must have done it already. Anyone willing to answer this question in the comment box? Great, good to hear it from you all. Thank you so much, Sumit. Thank you so much, Sumit sir. But anyways, I am totally okay. So here the area bounded by the curve. So these are the curves, right? So what I do is, first of all, if I talk about the first curve, right, lying in the first quadrant, so y is equals to root x goes like this. I hope you know that. And if I talk about this straight line, so when y is 0, x is 3. So when y is 0, x is 3. So it could be somewhere here. Let's say this is 0, comma 3. And when x is 0, y is 3 by 2. When, what am I doing? Let me correct it. Let me correct myself. I'm really sorry. Where is my mind today? When y is 0, x is 3. So this is where 3 comma 0 will be. And when x is 0, y is 3 by 2, right? Y is, sorry, minus 3 by 2. So minus 3 by 2 will be somewhere half of this basically. So let's say this will be somewhere here, right? 0 comma minus 3 by. Correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not very much focused. So I'm prone to make a lot of mistakes, at least in terms of calculations. So this is going to be your, this is straight line and this is your curve. Correct me if I'm wrong. And x-axis. So this is going to be the curve. This region's area is what you need to find out. The best thing which I'll suggest is heart attack aa gaya. It's okay, it's okay. So keep learning. Kala Kaddu, I couldn't say much. All I'll say is that here, first of all, find the point of intersection of this line with this curve, right? So if I here substitute y by root x, it will be 2 root x minus x plus 3 is equal to 0, right? Or what else can we do? Better is I convert it into a quadratic, so x should be replaced by y square. So this is 2y minus y square plus 3 is equal to 0, which when simplified gives you y square minus 2y minus 3 is equal to 0. I need minus 3, right? So minus 3 plus 1. So it should be y square minus 3y plus y minus 3 is equal to 0. So the roots are going to be plus 3 and minus 1. Thank you, Didi. The roots are going to be plus 3 and minus 1. But minus 1 we don't want. We would want it to be we would want it to be plus 3. So this point here is 3. And if I substitute x by 3, what am I doing here? It should be root 3. Am I making any mistake? Let me correct it. X we have replaced by y square. So it is 2y minus y square plus 3. 2y minus y square. So y square minus 2y minus 3. So I convert it. So I'm really sorry. We have gotten the value of y. I am absolutely not focused. Give me a second, student. So y is found to be 3. So x will be 3 square, that is 9. So this point here is 9 comma 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. Everybody with me on this? All I'm suggesting here is that we will find this region's area first. I'll find this entire region's area first, and from that I'll subtract this triangle's area. Everybody got this? So this region's area is going to be simply nothing but this integration from 0 to 9. Integration from 0 to 9 of this curve, which is root x. I hope you're understanding. But from this, this is needed to be subtracted. So this is 9 comma 0. So this base is 6, height is 3. So from this, if I subtract half base into height, it will be the area, this region's area. Everybody understood this comfortably. Can I skip this now? With this, let us move towards the next question. What do we see? Let us solve the next question. Okay, let us solve this one. Solve the differential equation. How do we solve this? One of the best methods is that you keep it like y dx plus x dy plus x square y dy. I am saying that this could have been done by you with linear differential equations as well. But let us finish it. Let us finish it. I think in the next 10 minutes will be done. Last chapter, differential equations, and will be done. Okay, thank you so much for being so considerate, Kala Kaddu, because, okay, leave it. Right, let's study here. This is what I am having. So what I'm suggesting is that this could be done with the linear differential equations. Otherwise, you can crack it with the help of the exact differential equations as well. What do I mean by that? I hope you are seeing y dx x dy. So when you see y dx x dy, can you not write it as dxy? I hope you all must agree with this. It can be written as dxy. And this is what? This is x square y dy is equal to 0. Now what I'm suggesting is, can we divide both these sides? That means both these sides by x square y square. So when I do so, this is divided by x square y square. I hope you're okay with that. This is also divided by x square y square, and that plus stays there. Now this, when I rewrite, I hope I'll be writing it as dxy, and this x square y square I write as xy to the power minus 2. And there, this x square y cancelled, so I'll be left with 1 by y dy is equal to 0. Now I hope I need not tell you what I do next is, no variable separable form, no homogeneous, not even linear differential equation, exact differential equation. So with that, integration and integration. So what do we finally get? I hope you are getting it very clearly. It's like t to the power minus 2 dt. I hope you're understanding it. So it is t to the power minus 1 by minus 1. So xy to the power minus 1 by minus 1, that is minus 1 upon xy. So this will give you minus 1 upon xy. That's 1 upon y dy. That is ln y, but mod of ln y, ln of mod of y. And of course, plus c should be also there, is equal to 0. So accordingly, you can mark the correct option. Nothing huge, difficult or tough is there. Now this, I think you can do by yourself. Can you not do it by yourself? All I'm suggesting is that how do you solve it? Differential equation is what they are asking, where a is the arbitrary constant, so it should be 2x plus 2y, y dash, minus, I hope you're understanding, 2a is constant, and the derivative of y is y dash. Correct me if I'm wrong. I repeat, x square is 2x, y square is 2y, y dash, minus 2a, y dash. That is dy by dx. I'm not writing it as dy by dx, I'm keeping it as y dash. All I'll do is, I'll find the value of a from here. So the value of a will be what? This goes on the other side. And then you are left with this 2, this 2, and this 2 are cancelled. So I think a is going to be x upon y dash plus y. Correct me if I'm wrong. That is your a. All you need to do is this a, substitute here, rearrange this expression, and you'll get your final answer. I hope that's easy. Can we skip that part? I hope nothing wrong in that. Everybody with me on this? Let us solve this particular one. X dy by dx. y ln x ln y ln x plus 1. So the best thing we can do here is that I write dy by dx as it is. This x I take on the other side, so that is y by x times ln y minus ln x. So that is ln y by x plus 1. Correct me if I'm wrong. I hope I'm not making any mistakes. So this is homogeneous. So with homogeneous, I hope you know what to do. You substitute y by x by v, because of which y becomes vx. I hope you know that. So here, you know dy by dx is going to be what? I hope you know this result. Memorize this result. Don't forget this. Arpan, after the session, you will get the PDF. Great. Thank you so much, Kala Kaddu. Thank you so much for being so considerate. So first of all, derivative of v you can take, or derivative of v will be dv by dx, x as it is, plus derivative of x will be 1 and v as it is. I have to remember this. So dy by dx will be v plus x dv by dx is equal to y by x is what? V. So v times ln v, correct me if I'm wrong, plus 1. Everybody with me on this? I hope the question is done now, because this v and this v are cancelled. So here you are left with x dv by dx. Correct me if I'm wrong. And there you are left with v ln v. So I think you are done with this question, because what you do next is the very simple task. V ln v is brought here, x dx are brought there. So this is dv upon v ln v, and there will have dx by x. Give me a quick update. dv by v ln b dx by x, right? I think from here, I did not tell you what is needed to be done. Can you not do it by yourself? Yes, PDF and DPP, both you will get. I think PDF you will get. So you take ln v as t, 1 by v dv is dt. Everybody listening this? If you didn't get my part, I'll write it here. If I take ln v, t I hope I haven't taken so far, so this is t. So 1 by v dv is dt. So I hope you're understanding. This is dt upon t. That is ln t, mod of t. But t is ln v. So this should be ln of v. What is v? That is y by x. I hope you're understanding it. Is equal to ln of x. And constant also I'll take ln of c. So this log, and this log. I hope you're understanding. This is log m plus log n. So this is log xc. This is log y by x. So I hope you're understanding. Anti-log can be taken, and you can write the final answer with that conclusion. I hope I need not explain it further. Can you do it by yourself? All the participants, just give me a quick update on that. Now from here, how do we solve this one? The differential equation of all circles passing through origin having their centers on the x-axis. So first of all, please understand, all the circles, what are they doing? Passing through origin and having their centers on the x-axis. So can I say if it passes through 0, 0, it could be having its center at a, 0 x-axis, which means its radius will be mod a. So its equation will be what? X minus a whole square plus y minus 0 whole square is equals to a square. So this will be x square plus y square. A square and a square are cancelled. Minus 2ax is equal to 0. This is exactly same as this question which we have just done. Almost same as this only. So if you could do this, I think that question is also what you could have done. So I hope I need not get that done. Can I move ahead from here? Now let's solve this one. Solution of the differential equation dy by dx, x plus y upon x. How do we solve this particular one? Satisfying that y1 is 1, so that we can find the particular solution. So here all I'll do is that, can I not write, again homogeneous, I hope you can see it, dy by dx is equal to what? 1 plus y by x. So I hope you know the result, because here again, if I replace y by x by v, I hope you know the results. We have already discussed all the results. I hope you remember them. All the results we have just discussed. Remember these. I repeat, always remember it that for homogeneous, dy by dx is x dv by dx plus v. I hope you'll remember it. So here it will be x dv by dx plus v. I hope you can see this is equal to 1 plus y by x, which we have taken as v. So this v and this v are cancelled. So x dv by dx is equal to 1. So this is what? This is dv is equals to dx by x. I think integration when you do, so this is v, this is ln x, but what is v? Sir, v we all know is y by x is equals to ln x plus c. What are we told? y1 is 1, which means if x is 1, y is also 1. So 1 by 1 is 1. that is 0 plus c. So c is 1, so your answer will be y by x is equal to ln x plus 1. Everybody got this, everybody understood this. Can I move ahead from here? Everybody, all the participants. So we are done with this. Summary is pretty simple. We started with functions, then we completed LCD, then we talked about differentiability and AOD, then we talked about integration, then we talked about definite integration, then we did area under the curve, and then finally we concluded it differential equations. This video had a glitch. Because of YouTube, we faced a glitch that the session got cancelled. So this video is there in two parts, live 1 and live 2. So there are two parts of this. In live 1, you will be seeing theory of calculus. You will be seeing entire theory of calculus, and in this second part, you must be seeing the practice of the entire calculus. Third thing here, students, this is your first revision marathon of calculus. After this, in the second revision marathon, we'll be doing algebra and trigo. And in the third, we'll be doing coordinate geometry and vectors in 3D. I hope everybody got this. Love you too, everyone. Good to have you all here. The only thing you need to understand is that after this session, mostly in 1 or 2 hours, you'll be seeing the PDF to this session in the description. Will that be okay? Thank you so much. Take a good care of yourself. Good day, everyone.